Hyde here.
Yeah, a bit of a turnaround coming. He used the swashbuckle aggressively, and they're just chasing him down. Raven will be the one to draw the first blood, so going to be very... very fun time at mid, health-wise, but doing quite well in the CS. And if that is bottle coming out, it is. Alright, so that's...
Just a little bit of extra damage for himself. Right clicks. I mean, so what's he opting to go? Actually, he puts the second point here into the Call of the Wild, so really putting a lot of faith into Zephyr here to get those arrows on point to eliminate any sort of creeps being stolen by Kezcute. Just wanting to get that constant harass going out onto...
I think even if he doesn't, constantly summon it in the lane, I think he'll probably still want it a little bit later on. We have another battle happening at top. Whitemon dropping low, but did you get the stun over onto Hyde? And I don't think Whitemon's gonna mind if Raven's able to pick up this kill, though. Getting slowed down by FBZ and forced to just retreat back to the tower. Needs to get some regen, maybe ferried out as well. The Ogre does have a salve already sitting in the inventory, so pop up and use that one.
Unfortunate by Makoto not getting the luck of top side, expending both the mana for the Sprout and the Nature's Call to body block him out, but able to just bottle it up here on this Ember Spirit, and he's going to be perfectly happy to stay in this lane and continue to farm.
Doing A-OK. Cuckoo farming nicely under his tower currently, and Kezcute's just running a pull, so he does summon up the boar. Safe from getting stolen away. And what else is really going on?
More like a guideline.
Raven getting pushed out of top, but still number one on CS currently. And everybody across the board really farming well for now. No lane is like a complete stomp or anything.
Closest would probably be mid. It's going a lot more in Makoto's favor here, and he's having to TP straight back. Carl, luckily enough, he's going to be able to grab this bounty rune for himself, so perhaps a bit more of a favorable trade here. Zephyr uses a bit of an odd leap coming through and goes down because of it.
Yeah, that was his... So he had no leaps left, and yeah, Kezcute actually able to come over here and grab both of these bounties on the bottom side for Boom. So that is going to be 3 for them, all up. Now just doing a little bit of jungling.
So despite all those last hits going relatively okay for Carl, there's still so many more denies in favor of Makoto. He's hit up onto his level 6 already. More needing to be expended just for the regen on Carl. So sitting about half a level behind right now. Potentially see some rotation starting to happen in the very near future. Probably onto Cuckoo, you would think. Bit of a pincer move happening here with Kezcute.
They're gonna have to make up for it a little bit with the rotations. Oh, trying to TP over. Still no 6 on the Ember. Makoto really wanting this rune. It's actually spawned top, and now he's in a little bit of danger. Does still have the Fairy Fire. The Wrath of Nature bounces through. Say goodbye, Ember Spirit. And Zephyr, that is once again his last leap. Just going to continue to get chased through the jungle here. Doesn't even have a TP scroll. Getting slowed down by Hyde. They will land an arrow, but can they just come over on Dream Cell? Looks like they should be able to. Leap still on cooldown for 5 seconds. Zephyr able to just keep on running with the boots and seem like he should be okay. The swashbuckle cooling down. Hyde's going through. Fairy Fire leap.
Didn't get the proc.
Gonna chase him all the way back to base.
Oh, Kip, you thought that the Prophet was in a problem position. No, Wrath of Nature takes off half the Ember Spirit's HP.
Yeah, he just got popped. That was not an issue at all.
Also available here on FBZ, so we'll see if Makoto tries to make any sort of aggressive plays up onto the Spectre.
Raven is right. He got like a 5.5 minute Necrobook, so it's doing pretty well. Cuckoo getting gone on down at bottom. Big slows coming through. Thinks about the roar, but decides better of it. Knows that he's 100% dead. 4-1 the lead on the board thus far. Putting on the pressure with their Nature's Prophet. They got another Wrath of Nature available in a second. So should really just be able to keep on doing more of the same, really.
Nice tower pressure going on, and it's a 7.5-minute boots of travel for FBZ, so he's going to be able to chase down basically anyone in this game with that Scorched Earth.
Yeah, and his game is just going to continue to scale more and more from here, right? He's going to get the Devour constantly. He's not spending money on TPs, so he's really just going to get pretty big. I don't know what item build he's going to go for exactly. I feel like there's maybe an Ags on the cards at some point, but other than that, it seems like just move speed for the time being. Maybe a BKB a little bit further down the line, something like that.
Yep. I'm liking how Whitemon's positioning himself. He's throwing himself into the lane, making FBZ hide and KezQ focus on him a little bit. KezQ, he went on a bit of a scouting mission for Raven, and I think the longer that you can delay that first Doom, the better. Pretty good job at preventing that.
Are fortified. Dire's top tower
Pressure
is
coming at
under
top.
attack.
They got a creep going. Just going to bring in the 2 supports along with the offlaner. Clean up the wave pretty quickly. Whitemon doing his best with the 1 point in the Bloodlust
Radiant's
on the
middle
tower to hold
tower
on
is
to it a
under
little bit
attack.
longer. And Cuckoo now pressuring down bottom.
Dire's top tower
I guess
is
the
under
reason to go
attack.
Necrobook first here
Radiant
is just you're
structures are
playing against
fortified.
Enchantress, right? So
Oh, TP's coming bot. Kuka could take a bunch of damage from this Wrath of Nature, but
Dire's
back off.
top tower has fallen.
TP also coming down from the
Radiant's
Enchantress.
middle tower is under attack.
Roar going to be used. They've also got the follow-up Arrow Haunt coming through. Raven wants this kill. He's not going to get it. Will go to the way of the Mirana. Dreamer Cell trapped in the middle of 4. His illusion's getting cleaned up pretty quickly. Doppel on cooldown for 3 seconds, so it looks like he's just going to get run down. Double kill for the Mirana, looking for a little more. KezQ coming a bit too far forward. He does have some survivability with the wand, but won't even get to use it. And Geek Fam very nicely setting up for that rotation in by the spec. Gonna pop the Necrobook and just keep on trucking.
yeah, he uses his spells first, wins most of the time, and Doom's still on cooldown, so it gives them a little bit of a window to try and make a turnaround play
Radiant's
here.
bottom
Now
tower
with both
is
the
under
Roar and the
attack.
Haunt not available.
So FBZ does come in and able to kind of put an end to the push, which is kind of the advantage that they've got by already having taken this one. And we do have a bit of a battle starting now for these outposts.
Radiant are scanning.
But it does just seem like it's going to end up being a 1-1 split. And the Spectre continuing to hold on to this #1 spot on the net worth for Geek Fam. And he's going to farm super quickly with Bloodlust, ultra fast Necrobook, and everything else, and a Royal Jelly. So, well, Carl's dead at mid. Double damage on this Nature's Prophet. A little bit too much for him to deal with, and actually used all of the remnants. Looks like maybe to do some damage, but
Yeah, so I was watching that one. So he took the bounty rune in the Radiant Tri-Camp. He had 2 remnants remaining, used 1 to try and take the double damage away from Makoto, who was running to it. But Makoto reached there in time, and they just weren't able to get away fast
Dire's
enough.
top tower is under attack.
I was doing a dramatic recreation and missed the kill on KezQ. Just dying down bottom, trying to hold onto this tower a little longer, but
Prize is mine.
it is going to get dealt with pretty
Radiant's
quickly.
bottom tower
Wrath
has
of Nature
fallen.
bouncing through. Would be absolutely hilarious if Makoto somehow died to like Wrath of Nature killing two
Dire's
red
top
necros
tower
this
is
game,
under
but
attack.
I don't know if it's ever going to happen. We'll keep our eyes peeled for it, and really important that
Radiant's
they open
middle
up this
tower
Radiant
is under
jungle area a
attack.
little bit more. Spec is probably going to chill down here for the next little while. And seems like Raven's game is going to be just fine, so we'll see how well this Boom lineup actually deals with the Spectre, and whether this Doom is the answer.
We're seeing FBZ rotating around a lot, and I know we mentioned before he's going to be able to scale so effectively with that Boots of Travel, especially picking it up as early as he did, but I just feel like he needs to be making use of this Doom a lot sooner than he has. You know, there was a period of time where there was a minute where both of the key ultimates on Geek Fam weren't available, and he's just been sitting back playing a little bit too passively in my...
Yeah, I really just want to see a Doom bombed out onto anybody, and then just, you know, carry on with your day, keep on farming. Raven is taking pretty defensive farm. You can see that he's kind of always got people sort of in front of him, just farming all the way back on his side of the map. So difficult to get the Spectre, but I do think there are other people that they could maybe go for. It has been a little bit quiet for Carl so far on this Ember, you know, 0-2, pretty middling net worth. sitting here on a haste rune, but just continuing to hold on to the mid lane as long as he possibly can. Doesn't feel like he can really rotate away, I suppose, against the Prophet, who has the luxury.
Perhaps he feels like that's in exchange for giving this Mirana a little bit more net worth, sitting a little bit ahead of the position 4 on Boom's side, and
middle tower
just feels like Zephyr, yeah, they're in a position to try and pop a Moonlight Shadow as they TP down to the bottom area of the map. No sentries available just yet.
FBC's hiding under these. Getting surrounded, yeah.
It's just not
Good luck.
fair.
Carl with the
Dire's
one
middle
sleight of
tower
fist
is under
kill secure.
attack. Radiant's courier has been killed.
But, I mean, I'm sure they would like to find someone better, but at the end of the day, it's just creating more space for Raven. He's perfectly happy to take those sorts of trades, and now that the bottom side of the map's been opened up, you can see he immediately relocates himself there, not needing...
FBZ walking forward, he lifts the hands, but slight into a jump away. Carl's going to be
Radiant structures are fortified.
He even had the ensnare available,
Radiant's
so
middle tower
missing out
is
on
under
a couple
attack.
of opportunities to go for the
Dire's
kill.
top tower
I mean,
is
they're
under
both pretty
attack.
lengthy, Wrath of Nature bouncing through.
Radiant's
Lengthy
middle tower
wind-up.
has fallen.
I just love how Raven farms throughout the map, right? Finding the safe place to farm 99% of the time, and he's only 900 gold away from his Sacred Relic. They've got Pop the Haunt as well.
Dire's top
Yeah, they're
tower
looking for a
is
little bit of a
under
chase.
attack.
Makoto is going to be the target. The Necro is on cooldown for now. Zephyr putting on the pressure. Whitemon also has another follow-up stun, so can't just go for the TP out. The team is trying to connect and help out, and that is going to be enough. Makoto gets out. He's actually going to go and heal, and then maybe try and TP back in to see if they can get some kind of a continuation play. Raven, realizing that that kill was not to be, just going to go TPing out and straight back to farming. Not as action-packed as our lower bracket games, necessarily. It's been a little bit more calculated, a
middle
little bit more
tower is
chill, a
under
little
attack.
bit closer. Also, it needs to be said, right? Not a huge net worth lead or anything on either side. The win probability is really loving that Geek Fam Spectre at the moment, but we'll see if FBZ has something to say about that this game.
That's always going to be the case, though, right? Maybe we might start to see some of this tempo pick up now. Phantom Lancer finishing the Fusel Blade, possibly just waiting for that juxtapose and
Radiant
something happen
are
with it.
scanning.
But Geek Fam, they're making the movements.
Dire's top tower
So
is
Cuckoo
under
did
attack.
still end up going for the Helm of the Dominator in the end. I was wondering if he was maybe just going to continue to skip it. Whitemon getting gone on. Do they have some detection here? Maybe not. Hyde's got a little bit, but it's coming out of his backpack right now. Cuckoo just going for the roar. Swashbuckle away. Hyde's going to be all right. All right, so just a bit of an ulti trade, no kill.
Just having these tanky supports available means that you have to commit so much to try and take them down. Of course, you're just inherently, and not too much you can do against the Rolling Thunder. Requires a lot to come through from Zephyr. I feel like, you know, when he's rolling, Spectre can't do anything, Beastmaster can't do anything, Ember Spirit can't do anything. It just needs to be on this Mirana to do the bulk of the damage.
Oh, Makoto wants to get the
Radiant
silence here onto Zephyr. The creep staying alive a little longer as well. Couldn't even deal with it with the auto attacks. So FBZ comes TPing through, and that will be the unveiling of the Orchid on the Makoto Prophet. And you can already start to see that, boom, they really want to turn up the pace a bit. They've got the Diffusal on their Phantom Lancer. They've got their Orchid ready to go. It's time to fight.
Yeah, he's going to have to play so carefully now on this Mirana, opting to go
Dire's top
for
tower is under attack.
the Spirit Vessel instead of any sort of
structures are fortified.
defensive items, you would say. So Makoto is going to just see him as a tasty little snack to gobble up every time he sees him reveal himself. So maybe we might even see Geek realize that, and some bait plays could be coming through.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We do have Carl going for that Maelstrom that you were talking about. Heading back to it now after picking up the drum. And everyone in Geek Fam just kind of lurking around their Spectre, watching her finish up farming this Radiance. And also putting a little bit of pressure onto this bottom tier too, but
Dire's
you know,
top
not really
tower
committing any
has
heroes
fallen.
to it. Just gonna have the
Dire's middle
few
tower
little
is
touches of the
under
Necro
attack.
Book make things happen.
Radiant's
Kezcute
bottom
revealing his
tower is
position at
under
mid.
attack.
Hyde hanging behind, does have the Rolling Thunder at the ready. Zephyr maybe gonna hope for a random arrow. They do get a slight chains, but it's only the 1 point, so not enough to really set up the guaranteed arrow follow-up.
And Spectre as well, with all of this space, able to grab some of those tier 2 items. He's going to be passing those through to his team. Essence Ring's so handy on a Spectre to be able to grab up, just increases that survivability, and a lot more passive damage is going to be coming out through that dispersion as well as the Radiance.
Geek fam just kind of grouped up as 4 around mid currently. Does seem like their overall read on the game is very much like, hey, our Spectre is having a great time, and so long as Spectre is happy, we're happy. Bit of a smoke coming through now. They want to make some kind of a play with this Radiance Haunt available. So heading over into their own jungle. Smoke does immediately break. Not a very long jump away from a hide. Just going to go for the Rolling Thunder. Still going to get roared. Can they just auto-attack him to death? Yes, they can. They got 4 heroes here. Maybe not the target that they were necessarily hoping for, but they can just do that again. They've still got the Haunt up their sleeve.
Yeah. Could even transition this into Roche. They don't have the strongest right click just yet.
Yeah, might be a little tricky. Maybe once they've got the Manta up, then I think it's super easy.
Yeah. I think the priority right now is just a bit more about defending their tier 1 tower so that Boom don't have that potential if they go for the pick-off.
As much as I think that this Doom pick looks nice, I just don't know how comfortable Boom look playing around it. Right? Like, FPZ, sure, he's decently farmed. But, oh, and they actually managed to catch out the Beastmaster at top. Cuckoo getting brought down. Done for Boom. But he just really hasn't done a whole lot just yet. Right? And now he's getting gone on mid. They're going to haunt in. Short little arrow. Nice kill. Chasing for more. Kezcute getting run at. Makoto just going to go for the TP out. He's heading all the way back to the fountain. And Raven looking to clean up more. They are going to buy back on this Doom. They really want to take this fight. They do have the outpost available. Hasted Ember Spirit just running around. And Geek fam just going to take their leave. They just back up.
But who do you catch here? I think as well with the Doom, now he's starting to build up into a bit more of those passive items. He's still holding on to the Ocean Heart. I feel like the Essence Ring would be much more viable for him just for that instant burst heal that allows him to at least get off a couple of his spells.
Are you at all surprised to see the Essence Ring as the choice over the Nether Shawl for the Spectre? I feel like we've seen a lot of Nether Shawl Spectre recently.
I think, sure, for this game, for how it's been going, the Nether Shawl is just so much more effective for being able to farm nice and quickly. But when these team fights start breaking out, I think Essence Ring is far and away the stronger item, just because you want to be living for as long as you can, especially against a PL and the Treant with all of those minions and minions to deal with.
Dreamcell just going for a more, I guess, hero-oriented build here, looking towards the SNY as Boom, after the Haunt's been used, are just going to head into the Roshan pit. They find themselves a nice little double damage for their trouble. Zephyr's going to come over and hurl an arrow in this direction, but I don't know how much they're actually going to be able to do. They're running over. Whitemon maybe going to try and face tank this a little bit. No, Hyde just coming straight through with the Rolling Thunder. We got some Boots of Travel also being picked up for the Beastmaster here. Roar
you gotta use it,
onto the Pango. Doom getting used onto the Beastmaster, but I think he can just walk this one off. Raven hanging back, waiting for his opportunity. Dreamcell trying to force it with the Aegis. They do get the silence onto Carl. He's in a little bit of danger, but he's also just walking away. The lockdown is not here for Boom, and they're just getting burned down by Radiance, by Flame Guard. Dreamcell might be about to lose his first life. They are getting a little bit of a turnaround here, but can they get... Oh, Arrow's actually still on cooldown for now. So they're just going to stand right on top of him, get the chains out immediately. Trouble for Dreamcell, does get the Doppelganger out. They're actually still focusing onto Raven. He gets pushed out of his dagger in the end, and now just dead. Kind of separated from the team a little bit. Now Boom finding their opportunity. 2 cores dead. Can they look for a little more? Whitemon looks like he will be saved by the Moonlight Shadow.
Such a difference having the Doom available takes Carl completely out of that team fight and going for more.
They did use 2 buybacks on Boom, in fairness. They did kind of replenish their forces a little bit to try and defend the Aegis respawn, but it worked. They killed Spectre, so cannot complain.
Not ask for much more.
No, certainly not. And Phantom Lancer just going to be going into a Satanic next, so very survivability-oriented build. FBZ, like you were mentioning earlier, so just kind of going for this pipe.
It's fine, you know? Like, you just want to be able to tank up a lot of that damage, get a few of those burst things available. He has gone a Faded Brooch as well for himself. I'm not sure if that's the go.
Forward. Cuckoo.
It's cute. Marcel? Oh, they found it.
Actually got the real one. All right.
But
Straight up lockdown. He's going to go for the doppel, but the real one is still here in the middle of everybody. I think they figured it out. All right, going to keep the lockdown going. He's now dead.
I made my kill.
All right. Oh, Cuckoo. All right, getting spotted out a little bit by Makoto here. He's just going to go for the BKB TP out. He lives.
Under attack.
All right, nicely done.
Bottom tower
At least
is
getting
under
some kind of a
attack.
kill.
Wave all the way pushed out towards the tier 1 tower as well, so they're not going to be able to take that
Bottom
objective
tower is
straight
under
afterwards. So we'd have to say Boomer all right with that. They expend the buyback extra timer onto the Pangolier. They're able to get a turnaround, but of course it always sucks
Dire's
that
bottom tower is under attack.
it's down, but find the real one.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe they had it like just.
Pre-selected.
Yeah, well, somebody had a lock on it for the whole time and was just keeping an eye on it, but however he did that was very impressive.
Because I know with the Naga, there's like a tiny little window when you use the mirror image where the real one is revealed first, but PL it's a lot less the case. FBZ's going in again.
Take us.
Radiant's bottom tower
Whitemon,
is under
all right.
attack.
Gonna get blocked off
guys.
very nicely by the
Has
Sprout.
been
Well done, Makoto, and mega kill streak for him.
And his career too.
So this game does really feel like it's just gonna... One, the Ember's not farming all that well, so it does kind of feel a lot like it's just going to come down to whether or not the Spectre is somehow going to be able to win against the Boom cores, who are all itemizing, I think, to deal with Spectre currently, right? Like, Makoto's got a full Silver Edge queued up. We got BKBs being bought. We've got the Satanic for the Phantom Lancer, so he can just latch onto the Spectre and not have to worry about the damage coming back the other way. And like even the pipe for the Doom feels very anti-spec. And I mean, fair enough. She's the only hero really having an amazing game on Geek Fam, so.
Yep. You've enabled your own survivability, and of course, like you mentioned, that effectiveness in team fight to be able to deal with the Radiance burn that's constantly coming out. It's another 10 or so seconds until Raven's going to be able to do that again, so positioning himself very well. Farming down on this bottom side, you've got complete vision of Kezcute with this not 100% conventional ward. He's able to just continue pushing this out. The rest of his team, they group up together and they go for... Not smoking just yet. They're going for something.
Yeah, they're just kind of walking at him currently.
Bounties.
Yeah, they're trying to invade for the bounties. FBZ going to immediately throw out the Doom onto the Beastmaster, but he's not locked down. And FBZ actually tanking an arrow, taking a decent amount of damage. Looks like Whitemon is going to get cleaned up. In the back lines, they do manage to finish off the Beastmaster. Carl and Makoto with a little bit of a stare down. They don't want to get too close to that Orchid. And with the Haunt available, Geek Fam may be looking for a slight opportunity, but this fight's over at this point.
I'm pretty impressed by Zephyr. The fact that he hasn't been constantly dying with this early Nature's Prophet Orchid means that his positioning's been fantastic. He's been farming where he expects they don't have vision, and now he's got the presence of mind as well to go into the 4-star. So even if he does get that initial initiation, you're able to get out of the Sprout and hopefully run away.
Yeah, he is farming pretty nicely, and I do feel like the Mirana going to have a little bit more impact than, say, the Enchantress later on in this game. But still, actually, we've got a full Battle Fury picked up for Carl here. So he is trying to itemize against the Phantom Lancer a little bit, and we will just have to see how that goes. I feel like I have not seen physical damage Ember work for quite some time. Hyde gonna get chained and killed off here for sure. There's just too much chain stun, nothing that he can do.
Death becomes
See you later, buddy. Boom. Make a beeline for the top side of the map.
Yeah, Geek Fam
Let's get
looking
the
for a
hell
little
outta
more.
here, Cuckoo.
Cuckoo just walked straight up onto this high ground, onto Kezcute, who was just kind of standing there. Nothing to punish that at all, so Geek Fam just with the 2 quick kills on the supports, and back to business as usual.
And the mid lane pushing in too, so Raven playing with his team for a change, which is not ideal as a Spectre. You always just want to be able to maximize the effectiveness there of the farm, but TP in straight away. He's going to hit up onto his level 20 soon, and that 400 extra health with the Essence Ring, with the Manta Style and the Radiance is going to start dishing out the hurt in these team fights very shortly.
Yeah, it just continues to get bigger and bigger, and that's another nice thing about the Geek Fam lineup, is that they aren't too susceptible to Nature's Prophet split push, though as I say that, Nature's Prophet just waiting here on top of Carl. Silence comes out. Force Staff helping him a little bit to survive, but now trouble for FBZ. Losing half of his HP before he can do anything. He tries to TP out, but Zephyr just cleans him up with the arrow. Hyde's looking for him, but the leap away, he's going to be just fine. We do have a BKB TP for Makoto. Hyde, I think knowing that he's dead, just wants to finish this kill, but it's not going to happen. Geek Fam getting 2 and losing nobody.
Just a little bit too keen. They went in with 5 seconds left on the Doom cooldown, so weren't able to get that 100-0 initiation and paid the price because of it.
Yeah, just... I guess it looked like an okay move. I don't know if they'd revealed the Shadow Blade just yet, so maybe hoping to catch Carl unawares somewhat, but it's going to be more time, and this Ember's starting to climb up the ranks a little bit. Well, we've seen like 2 Dooms used, and they've both been on Beastmaster, I think, and they've gotten some kills, but hasn't done a crazy amount necessarily.
Yeah. They needed to do more early on, even if it was only the Mirana getting caught out with it, right? Like, it's still really impactful. We've seen that Zephyr's been able to get a decent amount of farm for himself. Now he's got that forced up, he's completed the Spirit Vessel. Anything beyond this is really low.
We do need to keep in mind, Dream of Cell's been farming, right? So, as much as Geek Fam have been getting the better of some of these little trades here and there, with supports dying, and even the occasional offlaner, for the most part, the big cores have just all been farming this whole time, and each team does have a pretty fat position 1, so still very close by the metrics, less than 1k net worth, XP slightly in Geek Fam's favor currently, and win probability still pretty steadfastly over on the Geek Fam side, but it could even be a game where these neutral items end up being the big decision makers in a couple of these fights. What do we have picked up, actually? Got a Sliver, Quickening Charm, and a Paladin Sword on Boom. Now we've got Quiver, Orb of Destruction, Titan Sliver, and a Telescope on the Geek Fam side.
I'm liking the timing there for Geek Fam, opting to just group up together, make sure they secure that tier 2 tower. Now that means that Boom, they're probably going to feel like there's a lot of vision inside their jungle. They won't feel confident to try and contest this bottom outpost, and leaves Geek Fam free to try and make a play if they want to.
Do you think Geek Fam's current read is that, like, which team do you think feels more confident in their late game? Like, who?
Spec has to be the Spec.
Right,
at least
so
for right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm wondering how, you know, do things change when we start talking about like 6-slotted PL? Is it different with level 25s? Is it different with level 30s? Do you feel like is one team looking at one late game and the other team is just like even thinking past that?
I mean, I feel like Boom have given themselves a chance with, like you mentioned before, with the Silver Edge, the way that they're itemizing, even just the way Nature's Prophet is choosing to go for his talents.
Smoke, they've got the Hawk.
The flame.
But alright, Smoke gets broken on Cuckoo. I don't know if they've broken anything on the high ground. Kesku does get revealed. Everybody else still hidden. Spectre just pushing out bottom, does have the Haunt to come in. And that's always going to be the ultimate vision advantage for them. But just going to take a second. Carl back to farming. He is working his way towards the Lincolns. And it does seem like we will have a moment of calm once again.
I think the calm will only last for a short amount of time. 300 gold away from finishing up that... has he gone for a heart here on the Spectre?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the real danger. Roshan is up. Both teams are aware of it, having scattered it out with the swashbuckle, as well as having the Beastmaster Hawk here. So I think business is about to pick up.
Do you like the FBZ itemization here? Going for the pipe, and now going back BKB.
It's okay. I just feel like his positioning needs to be a bit better. I think a Blink Dagger would have been fantastic just to enable this burst damage that's coming through from Makoto especially.
Damn, Boom.
Radiant
Can't afford to just give this away for free. They scan it now. All right, they send the swashbuckle in, but this Roshan's already dropping very quickly. Here comes the illusions. Raven just gonna step out for a second. Biding their time.
Heal us.
Carl jumping forward, doesn't have the Searing Chains for 1 second. And Geekfam, if they can just secure this, that's going to be huge. Roar onto the Doom. Arrow to follow things up. He's not going to get anything off this fight, FBZ. A little bit of trouble for Zephyr, but he's still living. He buys back immediately. They're looking for the Beastmaster. He's been sprouted in. Dreamcell cleaning him up. Raven looking to fight. Still has 2 lives, so should be all right. Buyback also coming back in from Whitemon. Everybody just committing everything into this fight. It's a full 10-hero battle. Is that a Doom on the Spectre illusion? Oh, no. Now Raven just going to keep on walking forward. Carl and Raven both on top of Makoto. He's auto-attacking for dear life, but the cheese comes through. So trouble for Boom as the Slight cleaning it up. Looking for one more. Satanic getting popped, but he's not even gaining all that much HP on Dreamcell as Raven just going to keep on auto-attacking him. Whitemon even able to stand his ground. Kezcute doing his best, but the Phantom Lance are going to get cleaned up. Double kill now for Carl, and Geekfam just completely cleaning up this fight. Raven full HP and still has the Aegis.
Crumbling a little bit on Boom. The indecision of not wanting to go into the team fight. They had a double damage on the on the bottom side of the river that unfortunately for Makoto wasn't scouted out before he joined it, and then Doom dies straight up, doesn't get his pipe off, buys back, and Doom's an illusion as like a last resort.
Yeah, it just he did 325 damage fight. So
Moon of double damage.
maybe one of these cases of like a hero being good on paper or in theory, but when it actually comes down to it, just really not working out. And I just don't think FBZ has looked very comfortable either.
No.
Radiant's middle
Just
tower has
doesn't
fallen.
really seem to know what he's supposed to be
Radiant's middle
doing.
barracks are
And
He feels
I'm
like
not
paper.
sure. Yeah, that as well. He just doesn't
Radiant's
feel like
middle
he can
barracks has
itemize in a way that's going to give
Radiant's
him
middle
meaningful
barracks has
survivability.
fallen.
And even now, Raven, he's hit up onto his level 25, so that extra 5% dispersion. Hard to do any sort of burst through. I mean, they give themselves a chance with this Nature's Prophet, with going for the 30 attack speed, going for this heavy single target build, but 2 lives? Good luck.
Yeah.
You and I.
Radiant's
Well, they've got their
bottom
Phantom
tower
Lancer
has
back
fallen.
up, but Raven already in on the front lines. FBZ losing some life. Rolling Thunder from Hyde. They're looking for this kill onto the Beastmaster. He's still able to sidestep, though. The dust finally coming at Dreamcell. Who's he going to latch
Nice
onto? They get the
cuckoo.
roar over onto the Nature's Prophet, so Raven just going to keep on going for him. Carl in the middle of everybody. The Slight's just cleaning them up, and Geek Fam walking through this fight, no problem. Dreamcell just can't seem to bring anybody down. He's getting kited around in circles, even going to catch an arrow now as Cuckoo comes back in with his BOTs. Dreamcell healing back up with the Satanic, but it's only for a second. Geek Fam still have more than enough damage for him. Walking forward, triple kill for Raven. Can we get a rampage going? He's looking for it. Carl's not going to let him have it. Double kill with that last Slight, and GG now called.
Yeah, convincing victory for Geek Fam coming through and getting #1. It felt like things were going pretty decently, but just not able some of that extra farm that all 3 cores on Boom Esports had. I mean, it was, what, Spectre first, second, third, fourth Boom, but just nothing happened. They didn't take map control, they didn't invade onto the Spectre.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Welcome back, everyone, to the BTS Pro Series Season 2 SEA Grand Finals. It's Game 2 time. Geek Fam versus
Dire
Boom.
team back.
We said Boom came in with all the momentum from that lower bracket final, but it's all
Radiant
Geek Fam
team
all day
back.
so far here in the Grand Finals, leading 1-0.
Yeah, about that one. But it felt like they just played it better. Like, I think the draft might have given a Boom a decent shot at it, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's not a bad player at all. Maybe it's just kind of Geek Fam that have got his
Radiant
number.
team
Like,
back.
they
Yeah.
know how he plays, they can make the rotations, and they've got a good read about how to play against him, because even in that upper bracket final, third game, I think, he went something like 2-9-1 to start it all, and I just don't think that's quite good enough if you're playing this game that needs to enable your cores a whole lot more, which is the style of gameplay he
10
goes. Like, he's not
seconds
the cuckoo one, right, that's going to be pushing down towers on its own. It's about
5 seconds
creating
remaining.
space for someone like Dreamer Cell.
Yeah, they do have selection priority this time around, so they were able to take the first pick. Interestingly enough, Geek Fam opted for
Dire
Dire
team
in the
back.
situation, so worth pointing that out. It is a little
Radiant
bit
team
unusual, and the draft is just flying past thus far. We're going to see the Nyx Assassin getting banned out again. Boom sticking to their guns on this Dragon Knight ban.
Dire team
And
back.
also going to be getting rid of the Chen, and they now get rid of the Oracle, I guess maybe angling to either get the Beastmaster or the Batrider for themselves here and start the draft off on that foot.
Has to be the bat, surely. Or at least trying to force Geek Fam to go into a bat ban.
Yeah, and then getting the Beastmaster for themselves.
10 seconds remaining.
With Geek
Radiant
opting
team
for
pick.
the Dire again with their choice, yeah, they get rid of the bat. You would think it's the Beastmaster.
Dire
You know,
team
we're
pick.
probably going to see something again like a Spectre coming through. No, it's a Witch Doctor, okay.
Okay. I mean, it is kind of an anti-Beastmaster hero, but
It's strong. I mean, 5 seconds stun on the boar if you can land the cask onto him.
yeah. Yeah, it is useful. It would be way more useful if it couldn't bounce back to
10
already
seconds
like
remaining.
super stunned creeps, because sometimes you throw it into this clump
5
and it just ends up
seconds
bouncing back and forth between two creeps, and like the red Necro still just runs at you and you're like, oh my god.
No, my mana. I need that.
Please. I need it for voodoo restoration, please.
Oh, maybe not you. Maybe you don't
No,
need it for
I
voodoo
don't need it
restoration.
for voodoo restoration. I don't need voodoo
Dire team
restoration.
pick.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm shocked, Dan. Like, no one could have predicted this.
Shocked and appalled. Why not, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a winning strategy. You need to commit a lot to it to try and stop it.
Radiant team
Durable, effective at all stages, BKB piercing ultimate. What would you change about Beastmaster? Is it about making the boars weaker? Is it about nerfing the attack speed aura, perhaps? I don't think you can change Primal Roar. I feel like that.
No, I think Roar is in a fine place. I don't even think he needs that many nerfs. Like, I think the fact that Necrobook or Dominator is
10
probably getting
seconds
tweaked
remaining.
a little bit again. Next patch is going to
5
bring him
seconds
more
remaining.
in line a little bit. And then I could even see like a rebalance, make boars slightly worse, like maybe make the level 2 boar a little bit weaker. You can leave the level 4 boar where it is, I think.
Yeah.
And then maybe make axes slightly stronger if you want to nerf the boars more. Because that's something you can always do. They could take damage away from the higher level boars, but then increase the debuff
Radiant
percentage
team ban.
on the axes, right? So you make him stronger later
Overall,
on.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Or even just make the boars give even more experience, right? Like,
You could.
make it a punishable offense to lose it and maybe force the enemy team to commit a bit stronger into.
yeah, if you could, if it got to the point where the boar was where you were thinking about as Beastmaster,
10
or you're thinking about as the
seconds
supports, like actively using bigger nukes on them, like it was rewarding enough, then Maybe that's a situation you could get into. I don't think Beastmaster needs that many changes, though. I think it would be... He could also get completely nerfed into obscurity if his items and his abilities get nerfed next patch. Because then he's just donezo, and he'll be one of these heroes that doesn't come back until they overbuff Necrobook again. So,
Radiant team.
One thing that's standing out for me, man, they are flying past this with Geek Fan. With Boom, I'm a little surprised that they haven't gone for the Mirana as the second. They wanted to follow it up with the Tusk, I suppose, just wanting that save, given that you did see the Grimstroke Beastmaster combination come through, so you're going to most times be able to save at least one of the people that get stunned up. They don't have the Ursula combo together with that Witch Doctor Mirana opening, and of course you've got the Beastmaster, and Cuckoo plays it really well. He's got good micro skills as well, so most of the time he's going to be able to get a body block off either with the Boar or with the Necro Book just to stop that extra form of initiation.
Yeah, the Tusk to me, I guess, also reads as just wanting to have maybe something a little bit more. I think it's a reaction as well to having the Pango a little bit in the previous game. Like, maybe feeling that they weren't able to be as aggressive in that dual off lane as they wanted to, and that really let the Spectre get away with a lot. So kind of a different situation. If you're picking something like a Tusk, you can really put a lot more pressure on, and that's where I think Boom looked really good in the lower bracket series as well. Was just that these side lanes had a lot of laning potential, a lot of pressure, and then they were also somehow winning the side lanes while having last pick. So just the overall draft is looking really, really good. But Geek Fam looks like just it's all comfort so far. Really, I feel like the Beastmaster and the Ember are these heroes that you can kind of play almost no matter what, and they're still going to have decent impact.
I could easily see Geek Fan run it back again with the Mirana coming out next. Like,
yeah, they
got
could
great
if they
combinations.
Wanted to. Yeah, they really could. And Boom kind of scratching their heads a little bit here. They're already heading into their reserve time. What do you go for? I mean, I think you have to just pick your off lane, but you don't even really know. You don't know anything about the complexion of the safe lane just yet. So just gonna go for a Monkey King. Good kind of run at you hero.
Telling you, I'm liking the Mirana.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful with the Monkey King against the Beastmaster as well, right? It's not like this is. I don't think there's anything that automatically makes this a free Monkey King game. I mean, maybe you can lane a mid against the Ember if you want, but
5 seconds remaining.
That's a lot to be committing to the fact that you're assuming it's Ember mid. It could still be a Zephyr Ember.
Radiant
they play it.
Pick.
Venomancer.
Oh, and here comes the Venomancer.
Yeah, this is much more likely to be a Carl Veno, you would assume, and a Zephyr Ember Spirit.
Voodoo Restoration is countered. Say goodbye.
They're not going to be laning into each other, Kim. Come on. That's a decent amount of healing, though. Voodoo Resto, of course, Jingu Mastery.
Yep. Well, even just the again, they've got this insane vision game going on with the Plague Wards and the Hawks. They're just gonna have. They've got a ridiculous amount of damage across all of their like cores so far. Boom, gonna go for the Spectre.
They're playing scared, or they're drafting scared. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
So now at least they get the last ban to be able to take away some of the stronger counters to the Spectre, but really, like, Venomancer is a decent matchup against Spectre.
Well, and it's also like, what is the Monkey King doing in your draft now? What is he going to be for? What are you doing with him? Like, you've already kind of taken away any kind of option for him to go safe. So I think maybe they were really trying to force the Monkey King versus the Ember on the mid lane. But like you're saying, Geek Fam can just as easily just put Ember as a position 4. All of a sudden, Venomancer goes mid, and then what kind of game does Monkey King have?
Yeah, Monkey King's not great. Damage over time is pretty good against a Spectre. Stops a lot of the Witch Doctor influence as well. I know it's not done, the draft, but I'm ready to say this is Geek Fam's to lose.
Yeah, I'm ready liking what Geek Fam have going quite a lot. And they've got the last pick. Yeah, this is reminiscent of what we saw from Boom in the Fnatic series, where we were liking their draft
Radiant
even
team
before
back.
they got their last overall pick, and then the last pick just kind of clinching things a little bit. So Dazzle is the ban, just not wanting to get cheesed or anything.
I don't think it's a cheese draft though, and you already had the Venom to
Yeah.
hinder a lot of his influence, so don't know if that was the one. Maybe they are still trying to potentially
10
put the
seconds
Ember Spirit
remaining.
mid, and they just didn't want that direct
5
counter into it.
seconds remaining.
Yeah,
I don't
it could
know.
be. Or they're thinking, all right, Monkey
Radiant
King is
team
going mid, but maybe we want to safe lane our Ember or something. So we don't want to play against the Dazzle in the off lane potentially.
I'm liking the Necro ban though, coming through from
Yeah, it seems pretty sensible. Would give Geek Fam a ton more sustain. Geek Fam don't have the most ridiculous scaling currently,
10
so
seconds remaining.
I do think there's an angle here for Boom to win, but
seconds remaining.
like you were saying, it's just it feels like the game is very much going to be in Geek Fam's hands, and if they make a bunch of mistakes, then sure, Spectre's going to punish you
Dire
for it,
team
but beyond that, not sure. And yeah, Boom just like. What is this Omni?
New
Knight
hero
thing?
PogChamp?
What is this? I guess it's like, okay, now we have a way to deal with like a roar or a chains and try and keep our Monkey King and Spectre alive, but it's just such a do nothing
10
hero.
seconds
Like
remaining.
the Monkey King and I guess the supports are the only
5
playmakers that
seconds
they
remaining.
have, and I still don't even feel like this is that good of a Monkey King game. So who is going to do anything for them?
I mean, it could even just come down to the fact that Geek Fam have targeted a lot of their bans towards FBZ, right? They took out the Beastmaster by picking it. They took out the Batrider. They took out the Tide with that second phase, and even the Dazzle. There was positioning a potential position 3. So, not to say that he's got a shallow hero pool. Punishing him up.
Maybe this, who knows, maybe like maybe the Ember laning is going to be the downfall of Geek Fam a little bit. It does feel like at least Boom should be able to win whichever lane the Ember is in. But other than that, I'm not so sure. Fam, what they go for.
Now
Morphling
select
to
your
wrap it up.
heroes.
Okay. Gives them kind of an insurance policy, even if the early to mid game they start to run out of steam just a bit.
I'm giving this to Geek Fam, and it's a decent looking set for Morphling. All right, let's go.
no more silly hats.
Yeah, so it is
I feel
Zephyr
like I'm
for
going.
Carl Vino.
Yeah. So oh my god, did they have to send Monkey King mid against against Venomancer? Ugh. Okay, so I think here's the only way that this works. It's if
I'm all
Hyde,
ears.
if Hyde just destroys the mid lane, right? Like Venomancer is very gankable. I think Hyde just needs to like get level 2, and then he just needs to it non-stop, and they need to kill Carl anytime he shows in the lane. I think that is the only way that this kind of works for them.
And maybe Makoto. We've seen that he's on today, right, with his TA game coming up against Fnatic, but I think he needs to get like basically every single creep in the first 2 waves for him to have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the strongest right-click damage.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the Monkey King still getting some okay farm and then just being able to run around the map, but so much of this game just hinges on the Monkey King's game. Like, if Monkey King is not running around and getting kills, then again, there's no playmaking on their lineup. Have to see.
We will indeed. I'm feeling Geek Fam though.
Yeah, okay. We've got your prediction locked in, Danog. If I had the technology, I would put it up on screen for you.
Do it.
I'll just put the logo. I'll put your face, and then I'll put the
Prepare
logo
for
underneath
battle.
it, and we'll be set.
Just let me know if you need me to send you any like mug shots, just to
Alright,
like with a
nice.
happy face or something like that.
All right, so again, oh, actually, boom, they're making plays. They want to be in control of their own destiny here, so they're gonna come charging out as 5 heroes and looking for a first blood, perhaps. Zephyr already kind of on the intercept here. Monkey King on the front lines. They are gonna even go for the shards and for the boundless strike just to get this kill. They are gonna get it. It's only on Kezcute, but is this the play?
What, like ruining your laning stage just to get a catch onto the position 4?
Is this not ruining your laning stage? I guess the Monkey King boundless
30
strike is
seconds to
fine,
battle.
I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know about ice shards on Tusk. That feels pretty lane ruining.
What, because now you're not going to have that potential as well to as easily rotate towards that mid lane, right? You would want the snowball in the tag team, preferably.
Yeah, well, I think the shards can work as well. Shards tag team, but also you're laning up against the Morphling, so I think you really want to just go run at him at level 1. We have a big battle breaking out. Zephyr just gonna try and run for it. Cuckoo's still pretty tanky high. Just gonna go and grab the bounty. It does seem like it's gonna be 3 for Boom. Which is pretty nice for them. Kezcute losing a lot of HP.
They took out the boar as well, though, so a bit of extra experience. I think Dreamer still got the last hit.
But I really think you want to pressure the Morphling right out of the gate. Like, I think you just want to block the wave pretty heavily, and then just try and tag team him, force him to morph a little bit. If Raven just gets to free farm here versus the Omni Knight, eventually he is just going to destroy this man in CS. Alright, well, let's check out the mid lane a little bit. What is Carl doing? He's just got the point in the Poison Sting to start, summoning up some bananas, having a fun time.
Got all the creeps in the first wave. Nicely done by Makoto. Some
Zephyr
denies coming through too.
Dragging and blocking. Always a very nice play as the position 4. Still leave the range creep in there for a second. Nice. Keeping the aggro going uphill. What's happening up top? Wave's already pushing back, so did get it to bounce off the tower a little bit, which is going to be nice. Go over and try and intercept this pull, but that does mean he's not taking any experience to try and get his level 2. Though it's worth it if he can just keep the wave under the tower, or keep it pretty far up in the lane instead of letting it get dragged all the way back to the tier 1. I like this play, but too.
Makoto's done really well for himself in mid lane.
Yeah.
8 last hits, 4 denies. Taken up too much harass. He's still got the remaining shared tango, having only used 1 so far, so impressive.
Yeah, and the Spectre seems to be doing quite well down at bottom. I mean, what is the... Like I said, it feels like whatever lane the Ember ended up going to was just going to be a win for Boom. Zephyr's doing his best to, use these dragged creeps to deny a couple of waves and securing Cuckoo's game that way, but he's never really going to go and play the lane directly on this. And Makoto getting some good denies going to mid. 7 denies to his name here, so maybe this matchup actually not so bad for the Monkey King. I think it's gonna get harder, but for now seems to be going all right. And across the board, Boom farming quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an extra 11 damage, right, at this level, so you're always going to be able to take that favorable trade, and he's just been able to position himself well enough that he's not taking harass all the while.
I guess the little bit of extra attack range kind of helping out with the Monkey King compared to sort of your traditional melee hero versus the Venomancer. And he's got aggro tricks as well, constantly dragging off like the 1 creep just to CS it, so making it harder for Carl with the low attack range to really do all that much. Zephyr is looking to drag another wave, it looks like here, and he's actually rotating over to mid. The point in the chains, could get the slight. Makoto taking some damage here, as already being galed up, so wants to salve, but is Zephyr gonna see this and somehow interrupt it?
No.
See the salve coming, but I think we won't be able to do anything about it.
They were waiting for the Venomous Gale. Here we go. They're gonna make the play.
Yeah, looking for it. Gale comes out. It is level 2. Zephyr waiting here. got the slight chains, but Makoto pretty tanky and still has the fairy fire, so they're just gonna let him go for now. Does opt to use the Boundless Strike just to get those Jingu stacks up, but I don't know, is he actually gonna get to hit anything? I guess the creep wave's pushing now. There is another Gale. TP coming in from the Tusk. Whoop, gonna block in Zephyr. Takes to the trees, and that is gonna be a quick kill for Makoto. Alright, nice.
Dire's
Oh, nice.
structures are fortified.
Nice fortification there, blocking the Boundless Strike from cleaning up the rest of the wave.
But still, Boom, all three lanes doing pretty well in CS. Cuckoo getting chased out of bottom currently. And FBZ actually doing alright up top. Raven about to crack level 4. Zephyr rotating up here now. In terms of the... I feel like the Monkey and the Ember both ended up being slightly awkward picks towards the middle of the draft, but you know, the Monkey King is not looking awkward at all currently for Boom.
Found him again.
Lane's going just fine. Yeah, this is what Hyde's been hoping for this whole time, and for this Venomancer to go, looks like they're just going to try and give this kill over to Makoto. Gets the healing going with the Boundless Strike, and he is right as rain.
Pushing the wave all the way into this tower, so Makoto is either going to be able to rotate back towards the jungle or contest one of these bounty runes, perhaps.
Whitemon a little bit off on the timing here. I'm going to take quite a lot of damage from FBZ. Raven comes over, but only so much that he can really do.
Zephyr's only level 2.
Yeah, Zephyr looking kind of dead here. And that's now a killing spree for Makoto. Alright.
It's another one of these games.
Do you still want the prediction on the screen, Danog? Should I,
You know what? I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit to it.
Alright.
Let's see how this top lane goes as well, because I feel like Raven, he's still having an alright time up here.
Yeah.
He reached his level 5, so now Whitemon doesn't really have to stay quite as much.
Hyde's looking for more. Snowball in at bottom. Cuckoo gonna be the target. Zephyr coming over, trying to see what he can see. But all right, this time around, Hyde will be the one snagging the kill. Got the phase boots for this Monkey King. Yeah, this Tusk is just everywhere.
Well, made a lot of work happen. Whitemon started channeling the TP2 towards that bottom side, but didn't commit with it, so he's stuck a little bit immobile. At least the next minute or so.
Another go on the Venomancer at mid. Makoto's got the stacks. Can they get any kind of a turnaround? Boundless Strike out. Makoto kind of low. Cuckoo TPing in, trying to get the turnaround kill. He does get the boar slow down. Fairy Fire coming out. Makoto just wants to take to the trees if he can do it. He manages to snag the illusion, but Zephyr just cleans up the whole stack with the slight. And now Hyde in trouble. Geek Fam finding the turnaround.
Exactly what they wanted. Dreamer Sully's pushed the wave into the tower, so nicely done. And the fact that Whitemon's not going to be able to TP down to soak up this experience and keep it pushed back, it's a decent win coming through for Boom, regardless of those 2 deaths.
Yeah, for sure. That's classic Venomancer gameplay there, right? The Veno dies, but the team comes in and just cleans up everybody that was actually going for the gank. TP coming in from the Tusk. Do they have any intel on this? They've sent a Hawk over to mid, but I do not believe they have spotted Tusk just yet. And
missed the Gale.
Yeah. Poison Nova coming out. Cuckoo running forward with the Roar available. Makoto couldn't get the Boundless Strike out. So it's just a game of who's baiting who on the mid lane. And this time around, it's going to be Geek Fam bringing the numbers, keeping the Beastmaster lurking around in the area, and now keeping the pressure going with the fairly big creep wave.
Scout out Kescute here with the Hawk.
Oh, is Hyde dead? Whitemon chasing after him. Alright, Paralyzing Cast gonna do its job. Nice.
Putting the 1 point into the cask right now, so not able to hold him in place, but I'm sure the Voodoo Restra is going to give him some value.
Oh, FBZ rotated mid. Actually TP'd in. So, alright, well that's some free space for Raven. Up at top, has made his decision already in terms of the build. Just gonna go kind of into the shotgun, picking up a couple of small items along the way. Has the Morbid Mask, gonna be going for the Yasha too, but there's lots of farming coming up for him. And Dream of Cell, very similar to what we saw in the previous game. Gets this super fast Necro and starts farming up everywhere.
He's Troon on Carl here. He's nearly hit up onto his level 7, so just waiting for that for any sort of plays to happen. this would be super next level, but do you think he deliberately missed the Gale so that they might try and make an aggressive move onto it?
I don't know. Maybe you need to go back and look at the replay and watch player perspective, I think, to decide if he actually missed it intentionally. That would be a very next level play. But so slight lead in favor of Boom, still just kind of across the board. Oh my god, Zephyr is going Meteor Hammer on this this Ember. I mean, I have seen this before. You can start the Meteor Hammer channeling while you're in Slight, so you can Slight chain somebody and then get the Meteor Hammer follow-up. It's a bit memey, but I guess that's what they're planning for here.
Next level play, you know?
Exactly.
Cuckoo here, he's farming aggressively. You've got 3 heroes down here on the bottom side of the map, so be a little bit careful, but you've always got Zephyr to back you up. He's maxing out that Searing Chains, of course, just to get that initial burst off, but off with Makoto having moved down here. And Dreamer Cell, he's got a few different farming patterns from Raven, it has to be said. You know, Raven tends to be basically where no one else on his team is, and he's acquiring the center of the map, making it a bit easier for his team to connect through to him, perhaps indicating that Boom's going to make a few more aggressive plays.
Yeah, I think it's nicer for the Spectre to be sitting here against the potential Venomancer pressure. You can very easily just nuke out the wave, let the Necrobook do it, and then continue farming camps kind of on both sides. This is probably the most farm-dense place for him to be on the map currently. Got a lot of heroes just across the map trying to soak up some more levels, get their level 6s going. Whitemon at top does manage to make it away from the Monkey King rotation, and Zephyr still just farming his Meteor Hammer down here. So we're in kind of full economy mode for both teams.
Alright, job pushing this top wave in, though. You've got the siege creep coming through here. Kodo hanging back behind the towers, although making it a bit obvious that he's around.
Yeah, Courier
Dire's structures are
flying in there.
fortified.
Oh, Carl gonna get gone on again at mid. Can they find some kind of a turnaround? He does have the Poison Nova, but big damage coming in from Hyde. He's gonna drop it on top of Dreamcell, but he should be just fine. He's got his Royal Jelly as well. Veno dead, and just gonna end up being a 1-for-1 tower trade, it looks like. Dire missing the CS. Makoto should be able to grab this top one, we'll see.
1-for-1, or could it be a 2-for-1? They've still got this siege creep available, and all 4 heroes on Boom are around this mid lane.
Oh, Whitemon trying to nuke it out, but the siege creep still surviving. Cuckoo gonna try and go over and deal with it, but Dreamer still going to work. They do pop the glyph. Zephyr coming over. Slight chains available. Does have the maxed out chains now. So it does get the double slight. Pretty nice. Kescute going to work with that 1 point in the Voodoo Restoration. High jumping forward onto Whitemon. But they have enough damage to finish off this kill. Seems like they might not. A couple more auto attacks from Carl gonna do it. And the chase continues, actually. Zephyr getting the lockdown onto Kescute.
The purification onto Hyde, which I thought was really, by FPZ, would have been able to clean up that kill and perhaps even enable the Tusk to survive, but instead losing 2 in the process.
Yeah, not the best. Raven kind of checking out what's going on down here while also waiting for these Ancients to spawn up. FPZ at mid just getting run down. Haunt's gonna come in looking for a little bit of a turnaround. He's got the heal in 2 seconds. Cuckoo extremely slow. Makoto also coming in for the intercept. I'm gonna try and get this Satyr Tormentor if they can, but I think it's out of there.
I mean, that's the thing. I like the way that he's building, obviously going up into the pipe, preventing a lot of this magic damage that's going to be the burst that Geek Fam have.
Whitemon's looking very dead. Yeah, he's gonna leave it for Makoto. Get towards that Echo Saber a little bit faster. Spec just farming. Kescute dead over on this side. Raven just cleaning him up. A little bit of help from Zephyr. Still 1 component away from the Meteor Hammer.
Because that's the thing, right? You have Kescute. You have Cuckoo, who was in that mid-fight, and he clearly wanted to get a Primal Roar onto those people that were pushing the tower, but you've got Omni Knight standing right there, who can just use the Heavenly Grace to strong dispel it.
Yep.
But the way that he's built, you're probably not going to be able to burst down this Omni Knight during that Roar just on its own. You know, he already had the Cloak, so a bit less damage. He's got the Power Treads, he's got the Soul Rings, so plenty of HP. And you've even got the rest of your team backing you up with the snowball and, of course, the high ultra value of the Voodoo Restoration, being able to make sure he lives.
And he's very tanky at this point. 600 HP on strength treads. He's gonna have the hood before too long. They are making a rotation here, but the roar not gonna last very long. Raven jumping forward with the auto attacks. Can they catch a little more? Zephyr unfortunately gets the slight chains onto the creeps and not Makoto, so he will be able to hop away.
So those are the sorts of rotations that they need to make. They need to be aggressive into the other side of the map, and they need to take out FBZ when he's on his own. Because
forward looking for a little more, but shy on the mana for Zephyr.
Under attack.
It's pretty rare that you're going to see Boom moving forward with just FBZ, or like he's not playing a Beastmaster style hero where he has the capabilities to do that. He's always going to have his supports backing him up if he's playing it correctly.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Again, the catch just kind of lacking, right? Doom game 1, Omni-Knight game 2. Boom not really having the tools to force things all that much, and it will kind of continue to be, even though Geek Fam are behind on the kills currently, it does still feel like they're the ones choosing where the plays happen. Hyde is going for a mech here on his Tusk, which I'm a little surprised at, honestly. I thought he might just pick up like some phase boots and whatnot and kind of go from there. And we do have this Echo Saber on the Monkey King, but again, kind of catch issues, so only so much that Makoto is able to do. Are you at all surprised to see the mech? I thought like phase blink for sure, but different approach.
Never refuse.
It's okay to go that sort of style. I don't know. I feel like it's a little, not greedy, but perhaps a bit slow for what they were trying to go.
Oh, Makoto, gotta be careful. Raven had the Iron Talon cooling down, and those Wild Axes for Cuckoo also looking for him. Looks like he will be able to cut this next wave. Actually just gonna come TPing back, but TPing back into some vision, perhaps. Whitemon getting gone on a little bit. He does get the Jingu stacks going. They're running over. The Roar is available. Whitemon almost getting cleaned up, but be okay. Kescute and FBZ actually smoked currently. And up top, Dreamcell just farming against Zephyr, who really wants to finish off his meme hammer. Show me the memes. Raven, gotta be careful. Alright, just gonna try and go for Cuckoo instead. Haunt coming through. Dreamcell doesn't quite have the Radiance just yet, but seems like Cuckoo just gonna get cleaned up by the Death Ward. Can they get a little more? Looking towards Zephyr. He's got the Remnant out, just gonna go for the bounty. And Raven straight back to farming.
Value, value, value. I mean, well, you lost your Beastmaster, but Death Ward expanded.
Yeah.
Haunt expanded.
For a Haunt
still
being
get the bounty
used, that
roots.
is not really a whole lot for Boom. Let's be real here.
And they had to move back to their side of the map too. So Raven, he's just happy to camp himself up here.
Carl, caught by the shards at mid. Can they find the turnaround? He gets the Poison Nova onto everybody. Zephyr looking for the slight chains. Decent damage, but they've got the Omni-Net ultimate popped. Still ticking down pretty quickly. Zephyr with the 3-man stun. Makoto is deniable. Can they go for it? Won't quite grab it. So 1-for-1 thus far. Raven coming in for the cleanup. Pops the Tusk instantly. And now FBZ just getting slowed down by the boars and will slowly be worked into his grave. Going on Venomancer is just always, it's always such a bait.
Yeah.
it really never feels like it works out for you.
Yeah, I mean, Carl could end this game with what, like 15 deaths?
Yeah.
And they could very easily still win just because of the way that the hero functions. You know, you get off that Nova. It was only a level 1 Poison Nova 2. That's probably one of the spells that has a big amplification between 1 and 2. Nothing like a Conquer or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah, and Geek Fam just take this as an opportunity to head straight into the Roshan pit. Morphling doing decent damage. Hyde wants to come over and try and contest, but does seem like it's just going to be all Geek Fam all day. Zephyr's here. Show me the Meteor Hammer combos. Let's go. It's not actually that easy, especially if you're only sliding on one hero. You have a very narrow window to, and especially because typically with the slight, you're not going to be clicking directly on top of them.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like slight and then move your hand, or you move your cursor to get the Meteor Hammer off. But so we'll see. He's just using it to clear waves for now.
That clumsy net will help though.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty handy. We do have another Haunt in 15 seconds, and the Spectre is still the #1 net worth in the game currently. So still a little bit of a worry for Geek Fam, but
This is the thing too with Carl, he's just got an Essence Ring, so he's going to be able to survive that couple of extra seconds longer. He's got his level 12, so that Poison Nova's leveled up too, and he's building into the 4 stuff. So right now the name of the game is just survive, survive, survive.
Zephyr just with another Meteor Hammer. Continuing to clear, buy some more space.
I've always put my faith in unseen.
We'll just have to see what this Omni Knight ends up being able
Radiant's
to
bottom
accomplish.
tower is under attack.
Fights. It does feel like it could be, well, it could be similar to the previous game where a lot of it is all just hinging on the Spectre, and whether or not Geek Fam are able to do anything about
Radiant's bottom
this spec
tower
just
is under
exploding
attack.
on net worth.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is a weird one, Danog. I'm watching Ember Channel Meteor Hammer constantly at top.
Value.
They can't push into him. It is tricky. He can just keep a Remnant out, and you know, this is kind of like the old Battle Fury Ember, and that he's just clearing every wave and not letting them ever get to the tower, really. FBZ trying to do the same at bottom. TP's coming in from Hyde and Kezcute, but won't really find anything.
Who needs a Treant Protector when you can just use an Ember Spirit instead?
Ah, yep, exactly. Another Remnant out, and the story continues. Dreamer Cell just working on the Manta. Oh, we got the shotgun on Raven. So
it's around here on the Spectre. He needs to be incredibly careful. They're trying for the wrap around the backside.
The Hawk, I think they spotted him for a second. Looking for the roar. Cuckoo lifts his hands. Kezcute gonna put his life on the line. And here comes the Haunt. They're looking for a little bit of a turnaround. All right, Cuckoo is gonna get the roar out. Dreamer Cell getting controlled somewhat as Whitemon just gonna go for the TP. He does succeed. And again, you know, not what Geek Fam were hoping for there. They just wanted an instant kill with the shotgun, but also a Haunt used, and again, only losing the beast.
I think he roared an illusion, unfortunately. So that's never a good thing. And as well, I know they were on a little bit of a timer. He could sense something was up, and you had the Witch Doctor rotating through for the defensive play. But there was 4 seconds left until daytime, and I think the Fog of War ended up saving Dreamer Cell there.
Yeah, he was like, he lifted his hands, got into the fog, and then Witch Doctor just kind of tanked the gank from there.
Didn't even die on the dock, right?
Nope, just able to find the turnaround. What else is going on? Who's got items? All right, Makoto's got a Diffusal Blade picked up, so he's still looking all right on the net worth. Morphling with another minute and 20 seconds remaining on this Aegis. Ben really wants to just get some kind of a kill with this E-Blade going, but hasn't been able to. Still slightly behind the Spectre in terms of farm. And you should just accelerate. Holding on to the broom handle currently. Have we not had any better options? Actually, there's this Nether Shawl. Why is nobody interested in Nether Shawl?
I mean, if it was me, I would give the broom over to the Monkey King, right? Just for that incredibly extra range, and then just give the Vamp Race to the spec, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me, for sure.
But looks like Geek Fam, they're happy to just use the remainder of this Aegis. 40 seconds left to get the tier 2 tower. That's going to open up the jungle for Raven to continue farming up the remainder of his Skadi. Just continue this greedy style of play.
Jump forward from Makoto, but Zephyr able to get that Remnant out in time and jump away. Dreamer Cell pressuring top, but doesn't have the Haunt to join the team currently, so just relying on the information that all of Geek Fam are over on the Radiant side of the map. Pressuring there. Boom, just kind of farm stations. Is this just going to be another one of these games where it's same as game 1, just farm, one big climactic team fight, and that's that's the end of it?
I mean, I suppose so. It could be one of those instances where the neutral items start to come into play. Tier 3 are coming up, and that's where some of the more game-breaking things become available. Either side, to be honest. Like, can you imagine just something like a Quickening Charm could be really impactful for both of these teams?
Well, all right, they've got another Haunt, so Boomer smoked up looking for something, but Whitemon with an Invis is just going to break this. They have any way to deal with it. Yeah, Cuckoo's disconnected, so Whitemon able to report back to his team that he's just spotted Kezcute over here.
Yeah, he's got vision. Cannot see him, though. Detection just yet. Seeing some Glimmer Capes on both of the hard supports, so trending back to a lot more traditional. Man, they've nearly the identical items queued up, or it's acquired. Shadows on our Witch Doctor, though.
Yeah, not opting for the full Tranquils or anything. Morphling still going Scotty, but gonna take a little while for him to get there. Venomancer, just a Vessel and a Force Staff. Is kind of the... This is the style of mid, or like the style of core that I think you need to have if you're gonna have a Morphling. Definitely somebody that can make a little bit more space. You know, it's like more of a ganking hero than the Venomancer, but there's only so much farm on the map, and the Morphling is soaking up a lot of it.
Yeah. And now you would think that what Geek Fam are playing for is level 15, nearly acquired by the Veno. It's pretty damn impactful having that Poison Sting or the Gale impact wards. Or your teamfight potential, and of course the Glimmer Cape. I think they've basically got the Force Staff acquired as well by Zephyr, so it's just about kiting out, and it's one of those rare instances where you actually don't mind an extended teamfight happening against a Spectre with a Radiance, right? Like, you've got plenty of potential to have and
yeah,
we'll see how they play it.
Yeah, their extended team fight is certainly good as well. Oh, Whitemon again, scouting out here. Oh, here we go, Soulbind, double shotgun, big damage. Nobody dead just yet, though. The Omni Knight's pretty tanky. Do get an immediate buyback. They're looking for the turnaround onto Raven, and with the waveform already used, needs to get the cooldown back up in a second. They're going to force staff him forward. He gets the waveform out, and boom, just left empty-handed. They're going to look for a little more, but we've seen what happens when you chase into Venomancer, especially up a hill, so they're just going to let them go.
Back it off.
Get the outpost capture.
I mean, value for Geek, right? They have Haunt expended, buyback expended on Hyde, all for what? E-Blade, and I suppose the Morph cooldown was used in the Soulbind, but much lower downtime. And
Cuckoo even, you know, kind of looking for a little more. He's got the pipe picked up. Zephyr.
Hastrun as well. It's bottom river.
Zephyr's just been off farming with his Meteor Hammer this whole time, right? Getting gone on, comes back to the Remnant, just trying to force him around.
Why not? You know, he's not even been super greedy with his wards. The Meteor Hammer's able to do a lot of the damage. You don't need to expend them to just burst down waves.
Yeah.
The fact that he was able to pick it up this early means that he's almost level with the position 3 on Boom's side in terms of his net worth. You've got the tower taking potential as well.
Yeah, and these bulk Force Staffs combined with the lack of real lockdown on the side of Boom just feels like, is the Monkey King ulti ever gonna do anything this game? Like,
I could definitely see the play where they just chain use it on him, right, and just push him out of his own.
Yeah, even that could be problematic. And as much as, you know, I have to give credit to Makoto, and I have to admit that I was a little wrong about how that mid lane was going to go, but still the Monkey King's overall impact since hasn't been too crazy. Yeah, Hyde's just dead. See you, buddy. Die back.
Taken by the undertow.
Like, we're at tier 1 time.
Radiant's top tower is under
just
attack.
backdoor it. No problem. Very quick. Raven wants all the farm
potential
first.
respawn happening right now.
Radiant's
Pretty lengthy,
top tower
2.5
is under
minutes.
attack.
Planting some bananas here is Carl.
Has fallen.
Yep. Oh, they do get a nice boundless strike onto 2. Carl's tanking up. They do get the Soulbind out, looking for the turnaround. Raven, he comes in with the combination. FBZ gonna try and keep them alive. Dreamer Cell going in deep, but they've already lost the 2 supports, so absolutely zero catch at this point for Boom. Just gonna have to try and walk it off as this dominated Centaur locking down FBZ. Raven going in, looking for a little bit more. The auto attacks fly. Omni Knight dead, and Raven with the mega kill streak. On anyone on the side of Geek Fam.
Radiant's middle tower.
Who's initiating on who, right? You had a 4v5 situation. Granted, it was on your high ground. You had a little bit of vision, but got a fresh Aegis just picked up by Geek Fam. I don't know if that's the fight to take.
Radiant's middle tower.
And they're still going.
Again, Dana, what is this Omni Knight pick doing?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Do you want to quickly pop up my prediction again on the screen?
We'll flash that on the screen for everybody at home. But yeah, Geek Fam just going high ground now. Well, that is our one climactic team fight. Raven still just holding his ground. Soulbind coming back up in 5 seconds. Boom. Can't even really chase out. Hyde's going for a blink now. I think realizing how desperate their situation is in terms of just not being able to get a jump onto anybody. But even then, like, you're still going to have Force Staff issues.
Radiant are scanning.
Never refuse good.
Quickening Charm's going to be so handy as well for Geek fam.
Yep. Oh, FBZ running forward, wanting to claim a little bit more control over their hill, but this is what Geek fam had to say about that. Double roar coming through. FBZ able to keep on running. Hyde's just spinning in place as he now gets Meteor Hammer comboed by Zephyr. Raven jumping forward, looking for a little more. The tips coming out, and triple kill for Raven. Boom, all they can do is just try and grab a little more farm. Dream Missile now being overtaken as the #1 net worth spot.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They ping out the mid lane and make sure they push it in. No glyph left, so this should be one lane of racks.
Alright, Makoto can just TP.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
He's taken a lot of damage in the fountain, though.
Radiant's middle barracks
well,
has fallen.
Mid-rack's gone.
Radiant's middle
Go bot if they
barracks
wanted
has
to.
fallen.
Roche is going to be up in a couple of seconds though, and they've got the courier there, so Beastmaster's going to spot it out.
I think
Perfect
they want to.
timing.
I think they want to grab their tier 3s as well,
Radiant's
and yeah,
top
the
tower is
Roshan
under
available.
attack.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Raven actually had morphed into the Omni Knight as well, so just having that passive, or not passive, but the status resist that comes from one of your abilities as opposed to having to itemize for it is such an advantage. And well, even now he's got the Sanjin Yasha, so if you're able to grab that one up, good luck getting chain CC'd as this Morphling.
Yeah, he's also very, very tanky. I mean, I think he's morphed all the way currently, and he's still got 1700 HP. So
are scanning.
Zephyr is still just doing his job, holding out the waves. Boom. Absolutely know that they cannot give away this Roshan. They've got a haunt at the ready. Do they have a blink on the Tusk? They do not. Roshan almost dead. Dream Cell checking it out. Needs to go in there. Cheese has already been picked up along with the Aegis. Hyde on the front lines. Already just slowed down to a crawl. They're going to drop the Poison Nova just for him. Dream Cell jumping in. Does manage to find the one kill at the very least. Carl on the back foot a little bit. Still getting auto attack down by these illusions. Will be finished off. So 2 dead thus far. Raven getting kited around somewhat. Has lost a lot of his mana. Trying to help out his Ember perhaps. No, he's actually just going to go straight in. Double kill immediately. Here comes the slows onto FBZ. Dreamcell doing the best that he can. Cuckoo just going to keep on running forward. Dreamcell just nowhere to go. Too many slows, too much damage. Ultra kill for the Morphling. Zephyr is still being chased by Makoto, but he found himself a haste and now he's out of there. So 2 for 4. Morphling completely cleans up the entire team fight all by himself.
No glyph. No tier 2s. This is another lane of racks minimum.
Well, looking like it could be a pretty quick grand finals here. Danog, Geek Fam putting on a show, putting on a clinic.
You never know.
Radiant's
Never
top
know.
tower
It's
is under attack.
5 series for a reason.
Radiant's
I
top
think
tower
Boom
has
just need to
fallen.
clean up their draft a little bit. The Omni Knight was not it, and a
Radiant's top barracks
little bit questionable
has
to
fallen.
even just pick the Spectre into the previous lineup that they
Radiant's
had.
top barracks has fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, the Doom and the Omni Knight picks, I feel like, have just not worked out the way that they were hoping. And you mentioned, you know, in the draft, they've been putting a lot of pressure on FBZ's hero pool, but, you know, maybe they just need to grab something comfortable for him earlier on.
Yeah, I think it's not even just like the heroes that they pick, it's when they pick it, right? Like, it feels like when they've won, it's been on the back of Dreamer Cell, it's been on the back of Makoto, but not FBZ. He's not playing a game-winning hero, and he hasn't won games for them in the past.
Oh, Soulbind comes out. Oh, they cut down the Monkey King from his perch as well. The follow-up stun is also coming with the Satyr. He does manage to get the BKB off, but they've got a Roar waiting for just the occasion. Double kill already for Raven. He's looking for Kezcute. The Glimmer Cape is still cooling down, so make it a triple. Is diving FBZ towards the fountain. Zephyr's jumping away from the Spectre. Dreamcell has now been latched onto, though. Hyde gets finished off, and the GG gets called. Geek Fam taking game number 2.
Convincing style once again, and well, despite how that laning stage went, I think Makoto did the absolute best that he could out of that situation. You know, a fantastic way to start the game, getting a couple of early kills onto Carl there, winning out the last hit battle, which you probably would expect in an ideal scenario at the very beginning, first couple of levels, but beyond that, there just wasn't enough that he could
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. 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 Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Queen of Pain.
Not only do they have an ultra flexible hero there on first pick, so they get to see and respond a little bit more overall. So we'll just have to see what Boom are able to do and what they can do to pull together the draft at the last pick. So
I can slip through the bans already,
10
so
seconds
yeah.
don't think you pick it up this early though.
5
No,
seconds
I think it's a little.
It has to be second phase.
Yeah, there's you could always have some big
Radiant
AoE stuns
team
coming
pick.
through, or
In the
a
spirit.
bristleback or something really annoying.
Dire
But
team pick.
all right, Boom just gonna go for the very early Ember and a Warlock.
All right, you do
Okay.
you, Boom. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
The Minecraft lantern that he's holding onto right now. It's something a little different, but maybe they're going for, obviously mass damage coming through. We've seen from Geek Fam that they do like to clump
10
up a fair
seconds
amount, and
remaining.
Boom have been lacking perhaps a little bit of counter initiation thus far. So
5 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
being the Warlock on the back lines, be praying a little bit that Geek Fam bans out the Lycan, because I think Boom need to get rid of the Spectre in this stage, but I don't think you can really let either of those two heroes
Dire
through. That's the
team
issue.
ban.
I do think that this Warlock plus Ember is a little bit of a, it's a bit of a combo unto itself.
Yep.
The Fatal Bonds with all of the AoE damage from Ember
Sure.
is very potent, and I at least like seeing the Ember because I feel like it guarantees them some catch, and that's, I think, game control games is being able to like run around and actually get kills, and both games they've lacked the means to do that. So at least having the Ember, whatever position he's on, should hopefully fix that a little bit. And Geek Fam just keeping things super open, just gonna go for the Ogre in the first phase.
So what offlaners have we got left for FBZ? That's what I
10
really want to see
seconds
here.
remaining.
Something that's able to push out waves on its
5
own
seconds
without dying
remaining.
super easily, and actually have a bit more consistent presence in team fights. I don't know if he plays the Mars all that much, but I kind of want to see that one come out here. It amplifies the impact of your Fatal Bonds, just keeping people in that enclosed area. I think it would work pretty well together with a Warlock. It's a good additional bit of lockdown against something like the Queen of
Radiant
Pain that wants to be a
team
little bit tankier.
So the Tide Band comes through.
From Boom this time.
Yeah.
The other thing, let's see. Tongue no. Ah, well, it'll come back.
So are they angling
Void
for...
Spirit. I want to see a Void Spirit for Boom.
So are they angling for like
5
Warlock
seconds
Spectre
remaining.
here? What's the plan?
I don't mind it. They don't play the Ember Spirit in that 3 or 4 role quite to the same level that Geek Fam do, at least in my opinion. So they don't have the same level of flexibility with going for that first phase pickup for it. So that's the only thing I'm worried about, is that you are technically revealing your mid laner if they opt to go for the Spectre now, but if you don't, you've already seen that they've gone the Ogre Magi pick on Geek Fam, so Spectre's very much a threat.
Earth Shaker.
Now a Shaker coming in. Man, they're really just like... They're really picking up a lot of team fight here, but it does feel a little bit like it's at the expense of their lanes.
Yeah.
Really.
Give me the Spectre now, honestly. Like, this a fantastic Spectre game in my opinion already.
Yeah, this is already...
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
there's really no reason not to. It's good against the Shaker. You can
5
get in and
seconds remaining.
like, force stuff out of the Warlock. Just kill him off. You know, sure, Ember's going to do some damage, but it's not like he's particularly amazing against Spectre. So I can totally see it here for Geek Fam. Just going to go for the Pangolier first.
Disrupt the team fight a little bit. I get it. It again takes something away from FBZ, which I'm sure he's kicking himself about.
Yeah. What is he
Play
going
the
to
Centaur a little
here?
bit, but it kind of sucks against this lineup.
Well, I'm wondering with the Shaker if they're now
Dire
enabling
team pick.
some kind of like cheesier ranged offlane hero, like your Dazzles and your Necrophoses and stuff like that, because the Shaker is going to cover a lot of the territory that the normal position 3 would be expected to kind of cover. So maybe that's how they're going to keep this open for him.
Do you think he
10
still will, the
seconds
Shaker,
remaining.
given that they've gone this Lycan and might want to up the tempo a little bit more?
5 seconds
Oh, I
remaining.
guess it could happen.
I still feel really strong about, the
Radiant
Dazzle
team
that you
back.
mentioned. Works really nicely with it.
Fam, just gonna go for strong laning hero. Blind, pretty good against the Lycan. If you're able to start hitting him and you get that initial lockdown, then Troll just can kind of shred him. It's a bit worrying if you are Boom, but I feel like the
10
Lycan
seconds
pick
remaining.
also kind of prevents the Spectre a little bit.
A little bit.
5 seconds
Because the
remaining.
Spec just wants to play slow for like 20 minutes, and the Lycan is just going to be go. So
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried a little bit about is where's the synergy with this Warlock?
yeah,
It's not fantastic.
he's not going to get bullied out of lane, but they're not really going to get any kills either, right? So whatever goes off lane for Geek Fam is gonna farm just fine, and be able to contribute to those early to mid game kind of fights. And
I could honestly see them picking a Mars on Geek Fam. It works pretty well here.
so what then? Just quap mid and
Yep.
Ogre Pango is the... Yeah, I could see that. Do you think Boom might even consider, like, could it somehow be Shaker 3, Ember 4, and then they're still trying to keep this mid lane pick open?
I don't think they have the...
The flex?
No. Actually not. I think this is... I mean, the Shaker could be a 3, but I feel like that Ember Spirit's locked into the mid lane.
Right. Brewmaster ban. What are some other anti-Lycan offlaners? Could Geek Fam Underlord here? That is, it is very anti-Lycan. I think it makes their lineup a little weird, but
10 seconds.
it kind of
remaining.
looks all right here.
Dire
Is it
team
very anti-Lycan, or is it like you delay it for a couple of seconds and then you just get overrun?
I think it's one of the better offlaners to kind of play against it.
I always look for like sustained impact rather than like a couple of
Right.
seconds and do they have the potential to burst him down? Or
10 seconds.
I mean, I feel like the Pangolier will do a decent job already, right, with the lucky shot, if they're able to get
5
that.
seconds remaining.
And they've got some blind with the Troll Wallet as well, so I feel like not that they've dealt with the Lycan fairly well, but I feel like they've got the tools at their disposal to not worry about it that much right now.
Yeah, they can just bomb all of their AoE on the, on the wolves and kind of clean them up that way. So I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah.
Phoenix is going to be the grab here for Geek Fam. So more team fight, pretty good against the Lycan, and they've got the Pango to kind of protect it as well, along with the Quap. So do not mind this at all.
I really like the Phoenix. It's one of those offlaners as well. I think that's where it's probably going to be laning. That doesn't pair all that much against the Lycan, right? You can just stay at range, you can get your experience up, you're not at too much threat of being run down, and there's no stuns on that top lane.
Yeah, he really should just be able to get a lot of farm. And nothing stopping him. Like we said, whatever goes up against that Warlock Lycan lane, probably not going to get any kills, but they are going to get plenty of farm for themselves. So
means that you would assume Zephyr, if he's playing up on that Pango, will have the freedom to make these rotations happen.
Mirana, choose your hero.
Mirana coming through for Boom as the last grab, so what is it?
Mirana?
3 Mirana? Is that the plan?
Looks like it.
Yeah, Hyde immediately snagged the Shaker. So
it's a Zephyr Phoenix's. I've never seen that one before. That cosmetic.
Phoenix has a lot of hats now, actually. I feel like he's got like 4 or 5 sets.
Looks a little like a Plague Doctor.
Well, yeah, I can kind of see that.
I'll have to check what his egg looks like, well, once we get into game. But based off this, you've actually got Cuckoo playing the 3, Carl mid. It's something different. You got to commend Boom for that, right? They've gone for a different style, realizing, right, Geek Fam have got the tools to combat what we normally go. They realize the strength of our Ursa lineup, so just not going to let it through. And if they have one of those rare occasions where Lycan gets through the second phase, I think it was a situation you had to pick it up. You had to try it because it can end the game very quickly.
Yeah, I think if the lanes go well enough here, they've got a lot of, and even more than even more than the previous game. They keep kind of making adjustments in the right direction. Like in the previous game, in the first game, I think they were like, oh man, maybe our supports were too passive. So let's go for more active supports in game number 2. We've got the Witch Doctor and the Tusk, but then they failed to kind of pick enough catch. And I feel like this game, they've given themselves, they're the ones that are going to be active. They've given themselves a lot of lockdown, a lot of team fight, a lot of ways to just get in there and get to press their buttons and get to play. And if they lose, they lose. But I think this is probably the best draft that they've had out of the 3 in the Grandfinals.
I would agree. With that being said, is this a Geek Fam 3-0 in your opinion?
Yes. I think I've got Geek Fam here. But this one is the closest.
I think it really depends on how Geek Fam choose to react to any form of Lycan aggression. I think until they get a couple of items early on, they just cannot take the team fights. You know, if you want to pop a shapeshift to try and take towers or grab one of the supports, the rest of the team needs to TP away and then just try and make something happen on the other side of the map while you wait for shapeshift to cool down. Like it's got a long cooldown, 125 seconds early on when you're wanting to abuse it more often than not.
So you're not wanting them to fight into it. You just really want them to kind of
not super early.
Maybe do their own thing
around like the level 10 mark, maybe when you've got, you know, maybe 1 or 2 key items on you'll be a bit more viable. But,
30 seconds
we'll see.
To battle.
I mean, Cuckoo would know better than me about what's going to work for this.
Well, let's just see how this goes. There are some pretty, like you said, there's not only the Lycan cooldown that Boom are going to be waiting for a lot, but the Chaotic Offering as well. I'm interested to see how the Warlock does. It's not a very meta hero currently. Now, we are again just going to have this kind of standard
the battle begins.
Split. We do end up losing a Wolf down here, so tiny bit of experience for Zephyr and Raven to start the game off, but Are they even choosing to? So it seems like they might be looking for like an aggro try into the Lycan, but Boom kind of dodging away from it for now.
Possibly. It could just be, you know, your standard sort of rotations. Make sure you interrupt this wave a little bit. I think you should be seeing Whitemon TP up towards the top side pretty shortly. He needs to get that body block off onto the large camp.
Sure, but they do have, I mean, they've got Raven down here, right? So, see what happens. They're not letting FBZ into the lane.
TP there.
But then, well, now you're going to end up in this situation where if they want to keep rotating the lanes to chase the Troll Warlord after the Lycan, they can if they want to. Kezcute and FBZ have already TP down here. Even better would be if they could grab a kill on one of these two heroes while their TP is on cooldown. That would really ruin their lives. But instead, all right, Phoenix coming up to help out Cuckoo. Seem like maybe Geek Fam okay with this this laning setup that they've got going now.
Yeah, seems all right to me. They didn't get the chance to get that body block off, so you can see Hyde pull it through into this first wave. So value coming through there, gets it off effectively. Cell, though, with that creep wave going down, isn't going to be able to just stand and contest that.
Yeah, they're really putting a lot of pressure on him. Only has the Wolves skilled up so far. And Zephyr just going to come over and grab these creeps inside of the camp. But Dream is still going to be pretty happy with this wave pushing underneath his tower. Mid lane, Makoto CSing just fine up against the Quap. Obviously taking a lot of harassment, but to be expected. And a very aggressive, lots of damage build from Carl here. Just even picking up the point in the Scream early on.
And again, a bit more passive this time around. No more body blocks being expended. They're just trying to get up in Dream Cell's face right now.
They're just trying to pressure him. So do you think this laning setup for Geek Fam, is it about trying to pressure the Lycan, or is it are they trying to just get a bunch of levels on the Pango? Is that maybe the plan? Wanting to... he is kind of the crux of their team fight, right? So
yeah. I think the Pango, if they can, and Zephyr, so it's a little bit obviously counterintuitive that both of them are just sticking in this lane for as long as they are, but I think it's just necessary in this laning stage. Lycan, of course, so strong with that bonus HP regen, and it's very hard to deal with.
And they're going to get more experience playing in their own safe lane than they would in the off lane, right? Because it gives them access to some additional pull options. Cute little play here with the Lycan Wolf actually dragging the wave currently, though maybe
Hyde
not that cute if Hyde gets brought down for first blood, and we'll end up dropping. Cuckoo picking that one up. Mid lane, Carl dropping very low. Does he have anything coming out? Is that his bottle on the courier? No, it's actually just a couple of mangoes and a salve. So just gonna have to pop that one off and hope that he can get some help for the 4-minute runes, because Makoto's already salving up and he's got an empty bottle waiting for him.
Both teams have been pretty good at making those sorts of rotations, and such value being able to get that early kill. You've got a huge wave pushing into Cuckoo as well, so I'm sure Zephyr will look to take up a little bit of experience, get to that level 3, make some rotations elsewhere.
Hyde coming down here, does reveal himself now onto Whitemon. I don't believe there's an arrow angle currently, but a little bit of body blocking and a leap forward into the arrow is going to end up being a kill. Nice little rotation from Hyde, but does leave the 4-minute power rune spawn up to chance a little bit, though. Carl invests the blink. Can he force Hyde to pick this up at least? Alright, he does manage to, kind of.
Awful. Cuckoo, he's at level 4.5. Staying ahead of this Lycan, very important. Wants to get those early points into the Locky Shot and Swashbuckle as much as he can. At 22-second duration on the Shapeshift. It's just always going to be advantageous to get 2 or 3 of those Swashbuckles off during the team fight.
I was about to ask you what kind of build we should anticipate for Raven, or what you were hoping for, but I've clicked back on him and he's got a Battle Fury queued up, so... that answers that question. And so far across the board, CS looking fantastic for Geek Fam. Dreamcell is just hiding in the trees over at top. Got a little bit of a battle coming up for these 5-minute bounties. Whitemon putting the pressure on the Kezcute. Hyde holding on to the Fisher. We'll send Raven packing. Just going to be 2 for 2.
Amazing what you'll find laying around.
Well, with the laning stage not going so hot for Boom, it does seem like maybe a bit more pressure on them to be making the plays, start shaking up these lanes
Radiant's
once they get the level
has been
6,
killed.
or get the Necro 1 on the Lycan, start getting some more levels on the Ember. So for now, if things continue the way that they are, it's looking just fine for Geek Fam.
Yeah, already having 3 points into the Flame Guard as well here on the Ember Spirit. So of course, like, it doesn't have all too much to be able to deal with that. It's going to rely heavily on something like the Queen of Pain to get into the perfect position.
What's FBZ going for? He's just going for a Yule Scepter currently. There's even a nice little bounty waiting over here for Carl.
Why not? It's
Nice, nice. A little bit of item toggling going on as well.
Kez Cute snipes the illusion rune in his face. Raven, he looks like he's pretty keen to itemize for the phase boots in this team fight. He's got vision of that arrow that tried to come out and disrupt that for him. Now he's level 6, so he's going to continue putting points into that Berserker's Rage. He wants to have that move speed and as well as the snare chance. I think that's the key for once this Lycan feels like it's time to go.
Dream Assault, I mean, using the ultimate defensively at top, just to try and survive. Looks like he might be able to get a little bit of a turnaround onto Zephyr. As I say that, no, swashbuckle wildly off the mark from Cuckoo. Dream Assault really wants to finish off this kill. These last couple of spirits doing a huge amount of work, but the wolf will get the last laugh. And now Cuckoo also in danger. Dream Assault gets the double. It turned out to be a pretty good use of that first ultimate.
Playing on the edge there, the Aftershock, 0.6 second stun, actually enabling the cleanup there. He had the swashbuckle available, and that would have been a dead Lycan.
Sonic Wave getting threatened at mid. Makoto, it's already used his TP, so can't go and get the free refill just yet. Quap definitely winning this mid lane, 44 and 20 against the 28 and 3 at this point.
Yeah. FBZ on the bottom side, though, he's not having the worst game. Granted,
No.
he has been given the to be able to get a bit more farm, have a bit more endurance. He's got his power treads, I believe, coming out to him now.
Makoto at mid. Sonic Wave's being used. Dive through from Zephyr. Kezcute looking for a little bit of a turnaround. Makoto just wants the damage. It's going to get screamed down. Can they finish this kill? He's still ticking, but he's sipping a little bit more, and they will finish him off.
He's dropping.
Yeah. All right, well, 1-for-1 trade, of course, on the mid lane. Kezcute trying to get a little stack going. Zephyr, you spiteful enough to block this? Yes, he is.
Oh, yes.
He's like, buddy, nice try. Hyde runs in mid, gets a quick little D-ward going. Lots of help being handed over. And I think Hyde is now staking his claim for the mid lane. He's taking the CS for now. Makoto's interested in leaving the lane just yet. It might be...
Very well could. He's level 7 now, so he wants to be able to pick up those couple of stacked up camps, but Zephyr, wisely enough, he's saying, right, this is my priority right now.
Speedy
Trying to take them
rule of
away.
haste.
Makoto does have a haste, so Zephyr dive through. He's got a TP, but no real easy way to use it. Makoto finds him. They got a Fisher to interrupt as well. And now it looks like Makoto will be able to go and grab the last couple, well, the last one creep in this camp. Oh, in the top lane. All right, this time around, Dream Assault gets brought down. Raven popping off the battle trance. Just securing it. Oh, looking for a little more. Trouble for this Quap. Has actually got the blink on cooldown for now, so Makoto just going to be able to keep on running this one down.
Bottom tower is under attack.
No help really coming. Whitemon looks like he will get this kill onto Hyde. I don't know how he ended up all the way under the tower, but...
Sneaky plays, that little thing. I think with that camp there that was stacked up, I think Kezcute picked up most of it with his Fatal Bonds, actually. So
oh, okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
he's fairly happy. He's nearly hit onto his level 6, and he complete that with these outposts activating. Seconds time.
No rotations really to contest it just yet. Raven just starting to move his way through the jungle. Still eyeing the Battle Fury currently. Little items for Carl, just working his way towards treads. And Cuckoo is just going to be going for a Vlad's, it looks like, initially on the Pangolier. Very standard for your kind of pause 3 Pango. And it's going to enable some, with the Troll and the Pango with the Vlad, definitely have to watch out for the Roshan potential in this game.
Dire's structures
Has to be said though, it's very slow farm coming out here from Dreamcell. He's only got the Necro Book 1 at 10 minutes into the game. No boots, of course, not really needed as the Lycan, but you would expect the trade-off for that is, of course, having at least a Necro 2 at Smart.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Bottom
hasn't
side,
had
lots
the
of TPs coming in.
Yeah, they're really looking to bottom. They don't have level 6 on the Phoenix just yet, so he's just going to get stunned. Zephyr tries for the dive away, but now Cuckoo also getting trapped under the tower. Just going to try and cut his way through. Swashbuckles for a little bit of healing. Does not want to use this Rolling Thunder if he can avoid it, and does seem like he's going to end up surviving. And Dreamcell creeps getting cleaned up a little bit by this Glyph over at top. Do hold on to this bottom tier 1 tower for the time being on the side of Boom. So finding these uneven trades on the map, though, even with the 1 tower taken, they are still behind a little bit on the net worth just because of raw farm.
Yeah. FBZ again, though, he's having much more of a game, much more of an impact, and like he's much more comfortable with these damage style of heroes as opposed to ones that are just providing pure utility.
Yeah, he's at least getting some playmaking potential here. Hasn't opted for a point in the Moonlight Shadow just yet, so I feel like that does say something about the mentality that Boom have currently. They're just sort of grabbing their initial items, taking out these free towers when they can get it with the Lycan, but other than that, content to just continue for the time being and maximizing their damage. Just sort of, they're sitting in their lanes, really, for now.
I reckon Kezcute's saving for. Got 700 gold available. I'm liking the way Hyde's built, you know, going into that maximum value with the Windlace, with the Magic Stick, and then going for the Blink Dagger, just making sure that his progression's okay, but this Warlock, is it even like going for a straight refresher? Is that something that you could consider?
I think he might just be looking for arcanes here. You've got a couple of heroes on your team that really do not mind having a little bit of extra mana to work with, so might be the call. Dreamcell just pushing at top with the Necrobook. But yeah, still pretty passive overall. How is the Troll Warlord Battle Fury going? Raven just on this bottom side of the map, alternating between bot and hitting up some Ancients when he can. Whitemon, only the 1 point in the Bloodlust so far, but I mean, it's a pretty value point, to be honest. Only getting an extra, 10 attack speed and 2% move speed per level? Ugh.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the real thing that you want is being able to lock down both this Ember Spirit and the Lycan, and even the Mirana, honestly. So something like the stun is obviously going to be really impactful. What neutral items do they have right now in Geek Fam? Not getting the Keen Optic, so lucking out there would have been real handy for this Ogre with that short cast range.
We've got a Mango Tree that nobody has planted just yet. We're on Boom. Keep our eyes out for that. And Kezcute does end up opting to just get a full wand and some raindrops. So
okay, it's fine. You just want the value for now. You feel like you're going to be team fighting soon-ish. Mirana is hit up onto the level 10. He's gone for the health, stealing some farm away from Raven here, which is always pretty good, right? Raven's one of those carries that's always going to find the farm on the map. So if you're able to delay that in any way, big impact.
Do you not feel like there's more pressure on Boom to go and make a play here?
Yeah.
Okay, they're smoking now. I'm just like, okay, they've got the Necro 3. Maybe that's what they were waiting for, but I feel like the onus is on them to be, using their cooldowns effectively and continue to try and find towers. Zephyr does have the level 6 now on the Phoenix and the maxed out Fire Spirits, so that's really going to be the backbone of this Geek Can Deep fight. Whitemon walks straight forward into a very angry Lycan, locked down by the Fissure, and will just be quickly killed off. On the other side, FBZ needing to be somewhat careful, but there isn't an insane amount of lockdown. They're just going to poke some damage onto him and keep considering their team fight. Raven's trying to find this bottom tier 1 for free, but Makoto has other things to say about that. Trouble for Dreamcell, as his creeps do get cleaned up pretty effectively.
He'll be okay, though. He's got that 8 extra HP regen, so he's just going to be able to go back to the jungle for now. But again, it's the effectiveness of information striking again, right? We have this observer ward near the Dire Tri-Camp that's in a little bit of an unconventional position, so wouldn't be picked out by your standard ward right up on the high ground. And it scouted out the fact that FBZ was making that rotation through, getting in position to want to arrow, and just made that smoke so much more obvious, which is why Whiteman just threw his body into it.
Yeah, and he's the +5, so it's very easy for him to just tank a gank. And I think so long as the troll is still farming, then Geek fam are completely fine with the way that this game is progressing. I really don't think they're feeling like they're under any pressure. FBZ does get a quick courier snipe over here. A couple of leaps being used, but there's a stun waiting, so no TP out for him. Cuckoo has the Rolling Thunder available. Really nice swashbuckle connecting onto both of them. They're going to pop down the Supernova just to ensure these kills, hide getting burned down. And what can Boom find on the way back from this?
Nada, it seems like. We've even got TPs coming through from Cuckoo, so he's probably going to spot it out Makoto here.
Whirling Axes have been used, but here comes the swashbuckle. They are going to drop down the Chaotic Offering pretty much immediately. Sonic Wave through. Raven actually getting the ultimate off, surviving a little longer. They've also got the Sunray for him, but Kezcute finishes off the kill. Rolling Thunder through from Cuckoo, asking for a little bit more help. Dreamicell again on a sliver of HP. Popping the ultimate just to try and contribute to the fight, but just going to end up being the Troll Warlord killed after all is said and done.
Again, they're taking okay traits here on Geek Fam, right? They don't lose the tower for that Lycan ultimate being used. You've used the Chaotic Offering as well. Sure, you didn't have to pop the Hide Echo Slam for it, but I feel like you just need to be getting a whole lot more out of this value.
Cuckoo going pretty aggressive in the river here. Does want this kill onto Kezcute. Looks like he will be able to grab it. Now a little bit more lockdown onto Makoto. He doesn't actually have a Remnant out currently. So just going to keep getting chased down. Whitemon waiting for him at the other side. He's got another stun in a second. Not even going to need it. Carl picking up the double. FBZ just forced to leap away, and Geek Fam still holding on to this lead.
Tower is under attack.
We say no.
He started the wind up there with Whitemon to try and get the kill onto FBZ. They used the Fortify as well to protect this creep wave, but
tower is under
I suppose double use with the bottom tier tower.
Are fortified.
But Raven just about to get his Battle Fury here. And I don't know, Troll having his Battle Fury and the Lycan draft having only taken one tower so far is just...
You wouldn't go for the Echo here, would you?
Solo kill? No, he didn't get it. He didn't have the mana or the cooldown for the Fissure, so...
Dire are scanning.
Carl just walks away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All these little victories go in Geek Fam's way, and it's not a good sign when you've gone this Battle Fury Raven. You know, they're very happy to sit back and relax and say, look, you throw it out, more than happy to.
Yeah, we can chill from here if you want. I mean, Hyde does almost have the blink, but that feels like it's the only big timing really coming up soon for Boom. Lycan's going to be going for a BKB next. But Zephyr just keeps constantly pushing out bottom. They're trying to go on him a little bit here, but he does get the dive away. Makoto going to go chasing after him. He does have the Supernova, but I don't think he's going to pop it here. It's only level 1, so just accepts his fate. And team coming over to help. There is a slightly unconventional Radiant Ward over here, kind of spotting that rotation, but instead, Geek Fam just going to send everybody over towards me.
Radiant
I like that one.
are scanning.
Had some neutral items come through as well. Oh, who's been caught out here? Looks like the Pangolier, but he's be okay.
Oh, Cuckoo wants to take this fight. He is under this sentry ward currently. Just gonna back it up. Pet peeve. Use the neutral items, please, Geek Fan. They're there. Are we missing some? Who are the offenders here?
I mean, there's a clumsy net.
Arrow gonna catch him to Zephyr. A little bit of a dive. He does have the Supernova. Might be able to get it off. He pops it. Here comes the swashbuckle. They just can't hit it at all. The Rolling Thunder through. Sonic Wave to kill Makoto. Perfect combination from Geek Fam. And they're not done. They're looking for a little more. Whitemon running forward. Does have the stun available. Locking down onto Kezcute. Cuckoo going in deep. They are going to drop the Chaotic Offering. Looking to keep him locked down. Carl just jumping forward. Wants to finish this kill. The Shadow Word heal not going to be enough. And Carl heading into the trees. Everything's getting stacked up on top of itself. So 3 for 1. Dreamicell just getting kited around in circles. Zephyr still had one more spirit. And again, Boom just not winning these team fights, even when they use their big cooldowns.
Yeah, it just continues going from bad to worse, right? They don't lose all too much in that team fight. They commit so much for it, and now you've just got this extra little bit of time where Raven, he can just sit back once more and just continue
Radiant's
farming
middle
away,
tower
pushing
is
down this
under
tower.
attack.
Should be a relative ease.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Photo, you've committed in fairly well. If he gets lucky with a bash,
Yeah, he
going
was
down.
He did get rooted actually, but just as soon as that first hit came out, he was already jumping away. I guess telling himself that he needs to play aggressively. They need to keep the tempo up. These Lycan ultimates have really just done nothing this game, Dano. It feels like every single time. To me, it feels like, oh, okay, every single time the Lycan pops an ult, he should at least be able to go and secure one of these tier 1s, but I've been executing these team fights beautifully. FBZ does quickly snag this outpost up here. Kuku's just TPing straight in onto them. Swashbuckle away, getting some good HP going. Chain stun onto FBZ. Rolling Thunder attempted. Hyde is gonna lock him down for a little bit longer. Sentry Ward getting dropped. Body blocks onto Hyde. Makoto coming forward. Kuku, I don't know if he's the ideal target, really. They will manage to burn down the Phoenix as Raven trying to find the Ember. They're just trying to pressure him into jumping, and then Whitemon's camping it out on the other side. Another jump away from Makoto. Fisher from Hyde. Securing the retreat for the team, and he does have his Blink Dagger getting delivered now, though Echo already on cooldown. Just going to be the Phoenix kill.
Some nice target prioritization coming there from Makoto. The Phoenix had Supernova available in about 8 seconds when he ended up going down, so that would have been disastrous if they had that turnaround potential. Now, you've got the Chaotic Offering in 45 seconds, you've got another Shapeshift available. You would think this time, with the Glyph still 35 seconds away, they should be able to at least make an attempt on this tier 2 tower.
Seems like they want to try. Who's kind of up here as well, looking to slow things down. The Swashbuckle, very, very useful.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Carl
under
also
attack.
rotating through, does have the level 2 Sonic Wave available. Put some damage onto Makoto. Pretty aggro Blink, but feeling confident with the Essence Ring helping him out. Nice 2-man Fisher from Hyde into a follow-up Slight Chain. So everybody just poking and prodding, but Raven's still farming. So I feel like this game...
Dancing his way through the jungle.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's very happy with the way that things are playing out currently. All right, nice little Yules from Carl just to dodge out of the way of that arrow. Do that, but he did. So there you go.
Eventually putting Makoto onto this bottom side, making sure that they're not going to slip too much further behind. 3k net worth lead by Geek Fam. Dota Plus slightly favoring them, but I mean, that's the thing. It's not out of the realm of possibility for them to come back into things, but it needs to happen in the next 8 or so minutes, you would have to say.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to let Troll get 3 items. I don't think they can let him have SNY BKB, because at that point, all he has to do is just press his buttons, and he like auto wins the team fight, right? If he gets BKB Battle Trance off, I think he just kills everybody, pretty much. So. And
imagine if he gets a Paladin Sword or a Titan Sliver, you know?
Yeah.
That's just other stuff that's just going to make it unstoppable.
Yep. The Quap almost has a Shiva's, for crying out loud. Yeah, the longer this game goes on, the more unwinnable the team fights become for Boom. They've got the Echo Slam in 2 seconds. This needs to be... Hyde's got to come up big in this next one. They absolutely have to win this next team fight. There's no way.
So you reckon they should be positioning themselves to perhaps take it around Roshan? I feel like that's going to be quite impactful for them so that they can immediately take another objective throughout the map. The scan comes through from Geek Fam because they realize, well, that's where I would be playing right now if we needed the threat, and it pings out onto someone. So Cuckoo, he's positioning himself fairly defensively in these trees here.
Wolves scouting, all right, but it does get revealed. Hyde running forward. Can he get a 2-man Echo? It's only onto 1 so far, but good lockdown onto Cuckoo. They're going to drop the Chaotic Offering as well. Carl actually jumping in, bombs the Sonic Wave onto everyone. Here comes the Supernova. Can they protect it? That's got to be the big question. They're trying for now. Boom, committing everything to bring that down, but they've already lost 2 heroes. Kesku still has the Golem, pretty healthy. He's running back. He's going to get cleaned up. Makoto half HP, and Dreamacell once again just loses the entire army pretty much instantly and just has to turn tail and run. That is not the teamfight win that they were looking for.
No, heavy commitment, ultimates used, and they even take out Cuckoo before he's able to pop the Rolling Thunder, and you still lose 3 heroes? It's not the way you want things to go if you're trying to make it go back into this, and be able to scout out the fact that this Roshan's going on with the sitting invisible next to him, but there's not really too much they can do about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're really going to be able to accomplish here. It's dropping pretty quickly. They're running over. Okay, Carl, need to be careful. Actually, doesn't have the mana for the Yules currently. He used the Essence Ring. That's trouble. Here comes the Chain Stun. He's going to be brought down. Cuckoo with the Rolling Thunder, just going to make the space.
Roche is still
holding
happening.
on to it for a moment. Roshan's still happening. FPZ jumping in. Can they actually grab it? Raven pops the BKB and now just looking for the kill onto the Mirana. Didn't have leaps left. Tip immediately from Carl. FPZ just getting a little desperate there. Really wanted to secure the Aegis for himself, but well,
those are the sort of plays you have to make, though. It has to be said. Like, they were falling behind, and, well, they still are. They're at least able to grab the tier 1 tower during that, with Dreamer Soul not being able to have that big impact in the team fight that he would be wanting to. I think that's AC that's finished up, though, so maybe that's the next timing that they're waiting for. Ultimate's back up online, level 18 on Dreamer Cell, AC available. Try and get a win.
There's just so much waiting. There's so much waiting for ultimates here for Boom. There's like ultimates being up, but then not used because they're waiting on somebody else's ultimate. It's like, it's pretty painful. And the overall pace of the game is just so slow for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm really not sure what they do for the next 5 minutes now that this Aegis is up on the troll. Feels like Raven can just kind of go walking at them in the fights, and it's going to make everyone else's life really easy because they've got a proper frontman now. They didn't really have that so much. Who was kind of filling that role in the last couple of fights, but
look at this troll, he just melts these towers. He's got the Bloodlust on top of him as well. FBZ committed the arrow to at least take out the siege creep, but he is a siege creep.
Mikoto jump away, but it's not that far. They are going to try and save him. Nice Fisher actually blocking things a little bit, but Sonic Wave still makes quick work of him. They've actually caught out Hyde over here. Cuckoo a little bit trapped. He does manage to get the blink off. Okay, living. That's good news at least for Boom, but you know.
Oh, they're actually coming in here on Raven.
I mean, what does he have to worry about? Sure, they've got Chaotic Offering, but he can just walk at anyone. He wants these creeps. Another Fisher just to protect the Necro books. But this is a Necro popped, and it's not really doing anything for them currently.
Top tower is
it's another one of those situations where you had a 4v3 and make it count. Raven not a part of that previous encounter.
And Geek Fam just constantly sweeping across the map. They're tightening the net. They know the Boom can't fight without their Ember, so they're just going to force them all the way back to their base. There is one leap available for FPZ. They're looking for a little bit of a turnaround here. Onto Carl. Good chain stun. And they will actually manage to punish him. Cost them the Echo Slam, but you got to take what you can get at this point. Raven is still just walking at heroes. Supernova going to get popped. Cuckoo trying to protect it. Didn't get the immediate disarm. Can they get it in time? Yes, they can. Raven's still getting kited around in circles somewhat. As Whitemon now also getting cleaned up.
Okay.
All right, Geek Fam, a couple of gimme kills here. And Hyde chasing, looking for a little more. Gets 4-staffed forward. 3 seconds on the Fisher. Raven and Cuckoo thinking about going on him, but Chaotic Offering getting threatened, and here comes Mikoto. Does need to be careful of the roots. Cuckoo just going to come back in with the Rolling Thunder. That is going to be the end of Hyde. Who are they looking towards next? It's just going to be Kezcute. Nothing that they can do against the BKB for now, except kite it out. Dreamer Cell looking for a TP out. And, well, that's the end of that chase for today.
It could have been perfect for Boom, you know, being able to somehow recover that. I don't know if you needed to go for that extra chase. You know, at the end of the day, all you were really going to be able to kill was Cuckoo. With all of that, sure, you had the Chaotic Offering available, but Raven's not going to die twice with the amount of farm that he has. And, well, that time could be much better spent. The rest of your cores to somehow try and close the gap.
I do feel like it was well played by Geek Fam just to have, or well played by Raven, just to kind of protect Cuckoo as they retreated, right? I think they knew that, all right, the Pango's killable, the Troll is not killable. So long as we keep them together, maybe we can get something. And they did. They kind of got 2 turnaround kills after what was not a great start to that fight. How much longer on this Aegis? So only sub 1 minute now. But, I mean, in the time of that Aegis, Raven has like made very quick progress towards the Satanic, and has just opened up this lead more and more as the #1 net worth hero.
They got a long duration stun through the arrow onto Carl, but he's going to be okay. I'm also liking this Lotus Orb pickup by Cuckoo. I think mostly it's probably going to be used for the Fatal Bonds, just to be able to break out of that, particularly for this Queen of Pain, who might be wanting to play a bit more aggressively.
Yeah, and useful for him against the Searing Chains as well, right?
Yep.
Able
Radiant's
to
bottom
make sure that he
tower
gets his
is under
spells off.
attack.
Dream Missile kind of pressuring top a little bit, kind of
Dire's
threatening, but
top
Raven's already up on the
tower
high
is
ground
under
here. Tier 3, now you see it. Now you don't. FBZ trying to put some auto attacks under Raven, but he just does not care. Aegis is just about to be reclaimed, though, so you got to be careful about that. They do get a stun onto him. Can they get any kind of a follow-up? Lotus is going to get him out of harm's way.
His Fatal Bonds just moved. Unfortunately, they connected onto him and a few creeps, I think, so they didn't have the big team fight domination that would be coming through from...
Quick smoke up from Geek Fam, I think, hoping to see if there's anybody over in this kind of area still farming their way backwards towards the base, but good call from Dreamicel. He does just TP out immediately, hide, face checks the high ground, was not expecting them to be up here, and just immediately gets punished. Great positioning from Geek, and they're going to keep the pressure on, just breathing down Boom's neck. Every time that they've got an advantage in these team fights with one hero dead, they are so good at completely closing off the map instantly.
And opening it up for Raven, you know, they're just going to the exact opposite sides of the map. And, you know, worst case scenario, if they were to rotate through onto Raven, it just wastes so much more of their time. Like, it's going to take 30 plus seconds and enable things for the rest of their team. So I think, fam, they've got the tempo down pat.
And, well, they've got a Satanic now on their Troll, and they did end up finding the Paladin Sword, but it is just going to be in the hands of Cuckoo for the moment. Boom. Rolling out.
See, they've got a telescope in Tori, which I think is obviously really impactful, but there's clumsy net as well. So much. And they've got a nether shawl for Zephyr, so they're spoiled for choice right now on Geek Fam in terms of their neutrals.
Yep. Sorting that now. Boom. Well, they smoked and they're kind of walking forward. The lanes are getting pushed in towards them currently, and 5-man smoke feels kind of obvious. Geek Fam just playing around their high grounds, letting the BKB, Queen of Pain, play in the front. Gonna go for a smoke. I don't believe that this was spotted by Boom. Did they actually see anybody currently? The smoke breaks onto Dreamicel, just up this high ground. The Mirana now going to get revealed quickly. Jumping forward with the Shiva is just trying to force this fight. Makoto kiting backwards. Raven running at them. Doesn't really have too much to worry about. Queen of Pain with the BKB trying to force this fight. If they can disengage on Boom, this could be a pretty good look for them. But Dreamicel actually just pops everything and looks to commit. He's putting damage onto Whitemon for now. Maybe he can get the Ogre, but that's all of his cooldowns used just for the one kill. And now they're looking for him. Sonic Wave. A couple more auto attacks should be all that it takes to finish off this kill. They don't even need it. On the other side, they do get the locked in onto Cuckoo and bring him down.
It doesn't matter though. Cuckoo doing an amazing job. They were all clumped up around this Radiant Tricamp area, but the Waller could just never get there. Not to use the Fatal Bonds or the Chaotic Offering. Cuckoo just throwing his body in the way and making sure that, well, that Lycan went down.
They're looking at Raven here, but you and what damage? Boom. There's just... There's this question of how do they actually kill the Troll Warlord. When's Roshan? 25 seconds, so with everything, well, with a lot on cooldown. I guess Boom still have a lot of stuff. They've still got their Chaotic Offering. They've still got the Echo Slam.
That was good, by. It was so good.
He was just... Did he just wall off here? I was kind of looking at like Lycan dying over this way, but
oh, it was to the left, so the left stairs.
Oh, okay, so he was
completely stuck over there.
Right.
Oh, Paladin Sword picked up for them. That's going to be, well, honestly, not quite as handy as on Geek Fam's in.
Yeah.
Raven even realizes that that's at his disposal. So he's still carrying that Greater Fairy Fire. I suppose the 35 damage is nothing to snooze at.
Yeah, definitely really nice with all of his attack speed. Makoto getting threatened here at mid, but until the Rolling Thunder actually gets popped, I don't think he's interested in jumping away. Geek Fam spot their next target.
All right.
Into the Roshan, but they do have to respect the combo potential a little bit. Hyde running forward. Gonna Fissure, blocks in.
Why are you not?
Blocks him in a little bit. No. Oh, arrow does connect onto the troll, but it's not going to last all that long. Courtesy of the Satanic. Trouble for Makoto. Does get Chainstone down. This is not the fastest Remnant. He didn't have one down already. They force staff him out of the way of the Sonic Wave, but Raven just goes in deep. Cleaning up the Warlock. Does get the Chaotic Offering off. Cuckoo looking to get over the Fissure. Doesn't quite get the shield crash. Looks like he's happy to just keep on rolling around in place. Whitemon once again going to be the target of Dreamacell. Supernova coming out, and Lycan just going to have to take his exit. Stage right.
But at the end of the day, that Chaotic Offering, it was on to one. Hyde's still around. He's going to go for the Echo, who you would think.
Yeah, he's looking for it. Jump in. Echo, is it going to be enough damage? They've still got cooldowns. Roshan getting claimed ages on the Lycan. FBZ manages to hop out Dreamacell. Life number 1 going to get cleaned up very quickly, and Raven with the Basher waiting for him for life number 2. Mikoto deciding what he can contribute, but the answer is really not a whole lot. Just going to try and walk his way back to base. Even with the Aegis grab. And getting the last hit on the Roshan. Still nothing up from that fight for Boom.
And 16k net worth lead now. Even using the cheese onto Carl. He's like, look, I'm feeling pretty confident. I just want to be ready to fight one more time. Arcane. And getting close to that level 25. So what can you really do against this level of aggression?
Cuckoo just comes forward. Takes care of the mango tree. Alright.
My tree.
Could have swiped a couple of mangoes while he was in there. Actually, did he? I think he may have, or maybe those are from their mango orchard. But
yeah, they've been sitting on the ground a while. They might be off.
Well, Raven just getting Sunrayed here as he sieges. It's gonna take him a little while, but looks like Melee Barracks still destined to fall. 30 seconds to go on the Lycan respawn. No real opportunity for Boom to take a fight. 50 seconds on the Echo Slam. 70 seconds on the Chaotic Offering. Even when they're using these big spells, they're not really finding the fight. And, Arrow? Nicely done. A little bit of damage onto Cuckoo, but I think he's going to be just fine with the help of the Sunray. Raven clearing up the creep wave, and now just heading forward onto the building to get some lockdown onto Makoto. Force staff him away, but Raven, the objective-based player. Glyph comes out. Lycan TPing over into the tree line just to try and get a better staging ground. Rolling Thunder getting threatened by Cuckoo. Some chainstun onto Carl. Can he actually get the Yules off? Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to. Zephyr dive through. Does still have the Supernova available. I don't even know if he needs to use it. 2 buybacks coming through as Raven just continues to play the objective. Here comes that ulti. Cuckoo, can he protect it? He's looking for some disarms. Looks like it's not quite going to be enough. They do bring down the Supernova. Raven running forward, still has the Battle Trance and the Satanic. He should be just fine. They try and force step the Shaker in, but he gets stunned up by Whitemon, so he can't get the Echo Slam off. And here comes the dieback for the Mirana. Raven's looking for a little more. They even get the bash on the Makoto as he tries to retreat to the
He's still got Satanic.
And
Give him
Raven
the rampage.
making his claim for the base, making his claim for the series. Didn't quite get the rampage, but it's still GG called.
GG, well played. Game's gonna end before he's able to pick up the rampage. Where's the good manners coming through there from Boom?